Meantime, last night, protesters held what they called a die-in outside Mayor Emanuel's City Hall office. Then they marched through downtown streets. City of Chicago attorneys are taking legal action against the mother of Ronald Johnson. Court filing accuses Dorothy Holmes of threatening the police officer who killed her son. Documents are asking a judge to sanction her over the comments she made at recent protests. Holmes is due for a court hearing next month. Chicago Park District has argued successfully that it is following a long-standing court order by not making any political hires. A federal judge ruled yesterday the department is in complete compliance with that Shackman ban on patronage hiring. Park District will no longer need an outside monitor to make sure politics are not involved in the hiring process. A Chicago man accused of sexually assaulting and robbing a woman at a CTA Red Line station is now behind bars. Milton Anderson is charged with armed robbery and criminal sexual assault. A professor at Wheaton College placed on leave after wearing a Muslim headscarf and saying Christians and Muslims worship the same God. Says she's trying to fight to keep her job. Larisha Hawkins teaches political science. College said last week it placed Hawkins on administrative leave because she noted similarities between Christianity and Islam on social media. Chicago sports, men's college buckets, Northern Illinois, a winner over Roosevelt, 85-52. DePaul knocked off highly ranked George Washington last night. Nice win for the Demons, 82-61. On the ice, Patrick Sharp and his Dallas Stars came to town and beat his former team, the Blackhawks, 4-0. Right here on AM 560, you're going to hear Northern Illinois take on Boise State in San Diego at 3:30 in the Poinsettia Bowl. Go Huskies. News the service of Jewel Osco. Get set to ring in the new year with extra savings when you shop Jewel Osco using MyMix on December 23rd and 24th. You'll automatically get a $5 off $50 MyMix coupon, good for from December 26th through December 28th. It's 5:05. Check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager wants answers from the president.
What law would he have passed that would have stopped the San Bernardino massacre? If you can tell me of an effective law that would have allowed the law-abiding citizen to get guns, but not these people, I want to know what they are. So I always ask, what do you propose? And then there are crickets.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
We're here reporting live from Santa's workshop. Santa, thanks for taking time in the busiest season of the year.
Oh, we stay busy all year round.
How do you stay so busy without getting sick?
That's easy. My elves and I take Balance of Nature.
Balance of Nature? What's that?
Using the magic of modern technology, Balance of Nature has taken whole fruits and vegetables and stuffed them into little capsules.
And they keep you healthy?
Works for me. What do you think, Gimbal?
Well, I take it, and I haven't had a sick day in over 3,000 years.
So make sure to stuff your stockings with Balance of Nature fruits and veggies.
There you have it from the man himself. Stuff your stockings with Balance of Nature fruits and veggies to stay healthy all year round. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO to get a free stocking stuffer with your first order.
Have a Merry Christmas and a healthy New Year.
5:06, time to check the climate of your business with Air Comfort and time to check the roads this morning in our Chicago RadioDeals.com traffic center. In for Jim, here's Dominic Fortini.
Good morning, Mike. You mentioned earlier about that fog. That could certainly hamper your travels at some point this morning, but that fog eventually going to lift. Some early construction work keeps the on-ramp to the eastbound side of the Jane Addams shut down at Barrington Road. Also in Elgin, southbound Route 25 closed, alluded to River Bluff because of a multi-vehicle crash. Southeast side, we've got authorities on the scene of an accident, 95th at Ewing, a car versus a building. The good news is, the only thing else on the traffic radar, outbound Ike, we've got a crash blocking the center lane in Harlem. Traffic's a service of Cabela's. Find your last-minute gifts at Cabela's Christmas sale in Hoffman Estates in Hammond, Indiana. Shop for amazing deals and all your favorite brands, or get the gift that always fits. Cabela's gift cards. Don't miss the Cabela's Christmas sale. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the AirComfort.com Weather Center, Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, a shower this morning, cloudy and windy throughout the day, with periods of rain and a thunderstorm for the afternoon. Storms can bring damaging winds. High today of 60. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Checking the flight boards for you this morning. In spite of the 0.3 of a mile visibility at O'Hare right now, no big delays, less than 15 minutes on the flight boards there this morning. 45 in fog at O'Hare and fog in 47 in Aurora. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
Good morning. Welcome to your Wednesday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
Vorderbruggen and 5 other U.S. airmen were meeting Afghan leaders near Bagram Air Base when a suicide bomber on motorcycle drove into the group and detonated his bomb, killing all 6 Americans.
If there is a limit to how far Donald Trump will go with his crude insults and schoolyard-like taunting, we're still waiting to see it.
She was going to beat, she was favored to win, and she got schlonged. She lost. She lost.
You're offended. The average American is not.
We're going to take a live look at Michigan Avenue this afternoon, where a very large march and protest planned for Christmas Eve. Several organizations are putting the event together, urging people to shop off the Mag Mile. They're saying that they're trying to get Mayor Rahm Emanuel's attention, and ultimately they want to get him to resign.
We do want to stop people, if it be at all possible, from going in these stores. Why? Because it's better to bleed green than to bleed red.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning. Oh, can I try that again? Take 2. Good Wednesday morning.
Good morning.
We're warming up our voices
I made up
here.
that line.
What did you do? What line?
Good brrr. Oh, wait a minute. I got it from somebody else. I forgot.
Good morning.
It's in the public domain, though.
Well, that voice belongs to Bruce Wolf.
Hi.
Bruce, who's in for Dan Proft. I'm Amy Jacobson. I'm here a lot. Kind of been hanging around here for 6 years. I saw you outside, stalking me again in the...
I like to do that.
In the parking lot.
It's like legal stalking.
Yeah, but I have to tell you something, Bruce. You know I love you. Okay, but can I give you
Feelings
some
mutual.
Unsolicited advice?
I should get the Ann Sather frosting off my windbreaker that I'm wearing right now.
No, you have some holes in your shirt. And you're dressed as if you've given up on life.
Oh, you mean this green shirt? It's a T-shirt underneath.
I know, but there's holes in it, honey.
Where's the holes?
On top, on the collar area.
It's radio. You still think you're on television?
No, I don't. I just have
give
this
me my close-up.
Furry stole on.
Yeah, you dress like, and you still haven't.
What?
My fantasy, of course, I wanted to do, talk about Homeland, and you do the Carrie thing with the hijab, whatever. Which, by the way, Ayaan Hirsi, remember, that woman who was not allowed to speak at Brandeis University because she's the Arab woman, and she's anti-Arab. She says that Muslim women should not wear that anymore because Muslim men look at a woman who's not wearing, is it called a hijab?
A hijab.
Or hijab. Muslim men who see a woman who isn't wearing one of them, that woman is a free target for them to rape, according to her.
Oh.
How about that?
Okay, well, that just went from you looking homeless to crazy.
I tried to turn it into
but
a political discussion.
What was great, though, why you met us in the parking lot, or me, I should say, is because I brought in rolls, Ann Sather cinnamon rolls for the crew. And not just, these aren't day-old rolls. These are hour-old rolls. Because Tom Tunney, Alderman.
44th Ward?
Yep. He'll be joining us at 8:35, by the way. Just so you know, he will be here. But he got into the oven early. He got into the shop early and decided to bake us some rolls.
He got into the oven early.
He got into the shop early to bake us some wonderful Ann Sather cinnamon rolls.
You know the problem with the Ann Sather cinnamon rolls?
What? You can't stop eating them?
Well, it's true because when you start eating one, you want to just take a little bit of it and then go on with your work because they're so big. But you really have to concentrate on the roll itself, it won't let you go. So you got, and I've had 2 of them already.
Two?
And they also give you this extra frosting
Yeah,
that you
I
can
know.
spread on it.
I
Like you
brought it in
need
here,
any
like-
more. You don't need any more.
But Tom Tani will be here, and you know Tom Tani from such great hits as this.
You have to be a good neighbor. Otherwise, I'm going to be up your butt every day. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be up the butt every day to make sure that the commitments that Ricketts make and the commitments that the mayor makes are actually solidified by your support as colleagues.
He's relentless.
I know, but here's the
He
problem.
will not stop. He will give us 5 boxes of Van Sather cinnamon rolls. He's relentless.
He's given us about 5 boxes, but the problem is,
I'm easily bought, too, by the way.
Oh, okay. The problem is that I hate having people on that you're friendly with or that you've known for years because I said, oh, yeah, oh, great. Come on our show. We'll start talking about the Rahm Emanuel recall, about the big, huge protest that's planned on Michigan Avenue tomorrow on Christmas Eve. And they don't want to talk about it. They said, no, we don't want to do that. We just want to talk about the cinnamon rolls and how they're feeding police officers at the 19th district.
Can I tell you the biggest
So what-
act
well,
of
how do you-
prostitution that I did on the air ever?
What?
Okay, I was substitute hosting Fox Thing in the morning on Channel 32. Bob Surratt's on vacation. We have Carol Mosley Braun on. She's a senator, and she's probably one of the most corrupt senators ever in the history of Illinois. Carol Mosley Braun on. I am told she's a friend of the show. She's on here to make a salad with you.
Oh, my gosh.
So we made a salad with Carol Mosley Braun.
Did you ever ask her any questions?
Oh, a very limited inquiry into what she was doing, and then that was it, and it was totally superficial. And the rest of the time, I made a salad with Carol Mosley Braun. So don't worry about prostituting yourself because I've done it. And
yeah, but what should we do? I mean, you know what? You could just ask them questions.
oh no, we're not going to play good cop bad
Oh,
cop
no,
on him.
no, I
don't
think we
sandbag
should.
people. I'm not going to sandbag. I'm not going to be up his butt. I mean, that's all there is to it.
But he'd be up your butt, and he'd be up the
I don't-
Ricketts' butt if the parking
Maybe-
situation
maybe
isn't
the
figured
Ricketts,
out.
Maybe the Ricketts butt, but I'm not going to be up Tom Tunney's butt. To each his own. Let him do what his thing.
I mean, we all know he's a big supporter of Mayor Emanuel, and he said there is no state recall right now, Amy, or no aldermanic recall, citywide recall for Mayor Emanuel. So that's that.
I mean, I take no pleasure in getting up the butt of Tom Tunney.
Can I tell you a story real quick?
Yes.
Alderman Deb Mell.
Sure. Good
She
old
was
number, daughter of the good old number 33 ward, Dick Mell.
Dick
Is she
Mell,
from the 33rd ward, too?
Sister-in-law of Rob Blagojevich. We had her on when I worked with Roe on LS. We had her on to call in to talk about I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Because Patty was doing well. You know, there were scenes with her and John Sally, and she was talking about life and how hard life has been. And so I said, Deb, please just come on. I swear, all we'll talk to you about, all we will talk to you about is your sister and how she's doing on the show, because she's been talking to her on the cell phone and things. Right. Excuse me. And I told Ro, I said, Ro, if you ask her a question about her brother-in-law, she will hang up. And I'm begging you, please. It's already over. I mean, she was the only person who voted not to impeach him at the state level.
Right,
Remember, they had the big, it was 110 votes to 1, and she was the only one to.
Very principled decision.
Yeah,
on
I mean,
her
it was
part.
a family matter for
Sure.
her, so she didn't vote to impeach him. Big what? And it had happened so long ago. And so sure enough, he asked her, how was it to vote in favor of your brother-in-law to
Well,
keep him as governor?
Why would a whore like Ro Khan all of a sudden get principled?
Well, he's not. Don't say that.
Well, Ro Khan, let me tell you something about Ro Khan.
I love Ro Khan.
He's fine.
He's been good
Ro
to me.
Khan was a maximum donor for Barack Obama in 2008. And
How do you know that?
It's a public record.
Okay.
For Barack Obama and Rudy Giuliani. And he holds himself out as some sort of conservative. There's no conservative. That's WGN conservatism. It's baloney.
Well, then maybe he's at the right place now. He's
totally.
at WGN.
He said wishy-washy WGN.
He never passed himself off to me as a conservative.
Okay. Did he announce to the public that he? You didn't know that. I just told you
didn't
that
know
right now.
because it's none of my business.
What do you mean it's not your business? He's a political talk show host. I'm open with you.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you exactly what I believe in. I'm a misogynistic, hateful, xenophobic, temporary co-host for you. Okay?
Okay.
I love Ro Khan. I hope you love him too.
I do love Ro.
Sure. I do. You. He's great.
Anyway. All right. So coming up next, we are going to talk about the big story of the day. What is in a word? Why I don't find it offensive, and
Schlong?
what Hillary's doing about it. Schlong, 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 schlong.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Big weather. I mean, 40 million people traveling today, and there's nasty weather across the country, and we could have thunderstorms here. It's pretty severe. I hope you have the memo because I have it here for you.
Thanks for stealing my thunder, pun intended. Hey-o.
Today it's going to be windy, rain, and a teeth storm in the PM. Storms can bring damaging winds, a high of 61.
Tonight, winds gusting past 45 miles an hour. That's a 4-club wind. Only need like a 9-iron on the 12th at White Deer Run today because it's warm out. Showers early this evening, cloudy, low of 37. On Christmas Day, clouds and breaks of sun, a high of 43, a low Friday night of 38 degrees. Now it's time for the traffic with Dominic Portini.
Good morning. Plenty of fog across the Chicago area as well. In Elgin, you've got Route 25 shut down southbound from Luna to River Bluff because of an overnight crash. Southeast side, car into a building near 95th and Ewing. Really the only blip on the traffic radar outbound side of the Ike had an earlier crash near Harlem. That's created a delay back to Ridgeland. 21 minutes at this quiet hour. From the post office to Manheim, 32 to Thorndale. Everything else rolling incident-free. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Dan Proft with an Upstream Idea, brought to you in part by the Illinois Policy Institute. 97. That's the percentage of Chicago Teachers Union members who voted yes in a recent mock vote. Yes, they voted. They are prepared to go out on strike for the second time in 4 years. The annual average CPS teacher salary is just under $80,000. And that's before you include their health insurance benefits and guaranteed 7-figure pensions. The bankrupt, junk-rated Chicago public schools spend more than $15,000 annually per pupil, and yet 75% of 4th and 8th graders are neither proficient in reading nor math. This in a system of nearly 400,000 students. So who's the bad guy here? Is it the teachers union or the mayor's office? Yes, there are no white hats in the story of central planners from City Hall fighting with the central planners from the teachers union over who gets to be the lead central planner at CPS. If the teachers strike, they deserve to be unlocked from their jobs. CPS students deserve access to schools that will give them the opportunity to earn an education that sets them on a course for success in life. The only way that happens is if the adults inside CPS, the parents, and the adults outside CPS, state political leaders, change the flow of money away from central planners and to families so that they may make the same choices for their children that Tiny Dancer did for his kids matriculating at the University of Chicago Lab School. For more ideas like this, visit upstream-ideas.com. I'm Dan Proft.
Hi, this is Dr. David Kolbaba. So you get yourself one of those blood tests with all the poking and prodding. They're always looking for some kind of bad news. Most blood tests these days are very lacking, only screening you for the big, bad, and ugly diseases, and with you never really getting the good news, or even knowing what to do with the not-so-good news. So let me tell you about our dirt-cheap comprehensive blood test. First of all, we'll be testing a wide variety of different health factors and not just the ugly few. And then we're going to sit down with you and strategize with all that we learned from your blood test findings. And I promise that you're going to know more about what you can do to help improve your health using a more natural, common-sense approach. And for over 33 years, we've been very successful at setting people free from their toxic medications. It's our dirt-cheap comprehensive blood test. Call 800-794-1855. You can't get any cheaper than dirt cheap. That's 800-794-1855. Be sure to tune in to Health Quest Radio with me, Dr. David Kolbaba, this Saturday morning at 11.
A research institute is seeking a senior engineer to support a testing laboratory and other science and engineering-based projects. Apply complex technical, scientific, and engineering background to complete major complex assignments as a project manager, and apply in-depth knowledge to problems that require novel approaches and sophisticated research techniques. Candidates must possess a master's degree in engineering or materials science, plus 5 years experience in materials testing and ASTM standards related to test methods for piping infrastructure and permanent United States work authorization. Please send cover letter and resume to Jeremy Odehall, Director, Human Resources at Institute of Gas Technology, 1700 South Mount Prospect Road, Des Plaines, Illinois, 60018. That address again for cover letters and resumes is Jeremy Odehall, Director, Human Resources at Institute of Gas Technology, 1700 South Mount Prospect Road, Des Plaines, Illinois, 60018.
Coming up next, it's me, Mike Gallagher, right after Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
Things are getting nasty. He said, she said. Hillary Clinton's campaign is very upset still with Donald Trump. They are demanding an apology because he said this the other day in Grand Rapids, Michigan, to a full house. I don't know. Did you see the crowd in Grand Rapids? People stood outside. Thousands of them stood outside in the rain for hours. And he pumped up the crowd, especially when he described Hillary. Well, he didn't describe her. He described her losing in 2008 to Barack Obama with one word. What's in that word?
Hillary, that's not a president. She's not taking us to everything that's been involved in Hillary has been lost. As you take a look, even a race to Obama, she was going to beat Obama. I don't know who'd be worse. I don't know. How does it get worse? But she was going to beat, she was favored to win, and she got schlonged. She lost. She lost.
Yeah, she got schlonged. So now Hillary and others are saying the word schlonged it's a sexist term. Yesterday, I even asked you what it was, and what does it mean, Bruce? And should I be offended by this? And should you? 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line, or text us 64636, type in DA, then a quick comment, or call or email us directly from the AM 560 mobile app. Bruce Wolf, go.
Well, I did some research on this because I had to look at the Jewish intellectual New York literati or whatever. Jeff Greenfield, you've ever heard him? Yeah. He said that schlong is not dirty, that in New York speak, it means that you just got defeated. However, John Podhoretz of Commentary and the Weekly Standard said, no, you're wrong about schlong. It has to do with anyway, so here's the thing. So it probably is dirty. But the thing about Trump, the problem with Trump is that he's guilty of malapropisms all the time. So he doesn't even know what he's saying a lot of the time. And he's not Jewish either. So he probably just thinks it
But he has a lot of Jewish friends, and they're the best friends, and the Jewish people love him. They love me.
And he talks with his hands, too, by the way.
Yes, he does. All right, so
I don't know the long and short, S-C-H-O-R-T, the schlong and short of it.
Well, Hillary says she's being bullied by Donald Trump, and it's not the first time as a woman that Hillary has been bullied.
You are looking at somebody who's had a lot of terrible things said about me. It's important to stand up to bullies wherever they are, and why we shouldn't let anybody bully his way into the presidency.
She was speaking at a town hall meeting in Bettendorf, Iowa yesterday, her last appearance before she takes a Christmas break. Donald Trump's appearance in Grand Rapids, the last big one before the Christmas break. But someone running to his defense was former RNC chairman Michael Steele.
You're offended. The average American is not, because the average American was just sitting on their couch saying that exact same thing.
About a porn movie they were watching? So here's the thing. Somebody tweeted, it was pretty funny.
Yes.
Hillary, of all people, she thinks she's bullied by that. What her husband did to her, she's an embarrassment to women in America because she's stuck with that guy.
No.
So give me a break about her being upset.
I will never criticize her for staying with him, ever.
Why?
Because take the easy way out, get divorced. That's what everyone does. She's stuck with him, and it's not for sexual reasons. It's for business reasons and political reasons.
Because of the monarchy.
Do you know how many sexless marriages there are out there?
Why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me? I'm fine.
Right, but enough of that. So Hillary,
Hi, Karen.
during that same town hall meeting, she clarified herself about Donald Trump and what she said, that he inspires people to join ISIS, that he's in ISIS videos. Listen to what she said. She said, here, I'll let her explain.
But I think what you're hearing from some of the Republicans, most particularly Mr. Trump, about Muslims is not only dangerous, it's shameful. It is not the kind of language somebody running to be president of the United States should be using.
Different tone.
And
very calm.
It has consequences. It has real consequences. You know, people around the world pay very close attention to our elections.
Listen, Bruce.
And if you go on Arabic television, as we have, and you look at what is being blasted out with video of Mr. Trump being translated into Arabic, no Muslims coming to the United States, other kinds of derogatory, defamatory statements, it is playing into the hands of the violent jihadists.
So she said he's basically, Donald Trump is a big hit on Arabic TV. So now she's walking back her claim that he appears in ISIS videos, because we all know that is not true, and intelligence experts have come forward and say there's no proof of that ever happening.
You had like Kirsten Powers, who's liberal, fetching. She's the fetching liberal on the Fox News special report. She said Lawrence O'Donnell, you know, he's such a nutcase on MSNBC. He's the guy who said that the reason Republicans make fun of Barack Obama's golf game is it's a dog whistle to Tiger Woods' philandering. Okay. So he's a nut. Even he said that Hillary should apologize.
Right,
so Hillary's full of it.
And it's so funny because did you hear her calm demeanor?
Yeah.
It's so different than 2 months ago when she was in Arkansas. Hee-haw.
I come too far from where I started from.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Having a great smile to show off makes you feel good. There's no embarrassment associated with being able to flash your pearly whites whenever you want. If you'd like to feel that comfort and confidence with your smile, there's only one person who can help you. Dr. Neruzzi of Fox River Periodontics.
This is Brian DeWolf. I have 2 implants from Fox River Periodontics. I had one, I was happy with it. So I had another one done, and I love them. The idea of dentures didn't appeal to me at all. I didn't want that appliance in my mouth. These implants are wonderful. They're just like your real teeth, and they're probably even better because there's no nerve attached to them, so there's no pain, and they last forever. Dr. Neruzzi is great, and his staff is wonderful, and I trust him completely. If you're looking for dental implants, or considering dental implants for a missing tooth or for a whole mouthful, talk to Dr. Neruzzi. He'll be happy you did, and Fox River Periodontics.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants. Go to implantsforme.com.
The weather in Chicago is only going to get worse this winter, but do you know where it's going to be warm and sunny for the next 5 months? Los Cabos, Mexico. That's where we're heading. Dan Proft and I, and you, some listeners, April 2nd through April 9th. Mark it down on your calendar. We'll be staying at the Secrets Puerto Los Cabos Golf and Spa Resort. Now, it's an adults-only, all-inclusive, all-suites resort that opened in December of 2013. I've been there. It's absolutely gorgeous. It has 8 restaurants with award-winning chefs. It has 4 bars serving unlimited premium drinks, great music, 24-hour-a-day room service. Now, the resort has 2 sparkling pools and access to 3 miles of pristine beaches. It's adjacent to the resort. Adjacent to the resort are 2 9-hole golf courses designed by Jack Nicklaus and Greg Norman. You don't even have to drive there. You can simply walk out of your suite onto the golf course, straight to the ocean. Oh, by the way, all rooms have ocean views. Again, back to the golf courses. 2 9-hole golf courses designed by Jack Nicklaus and Greg Norman. So join us in Cabo. To get more information and book your trip, visit 560theanswer.com, keyword escape. Every year, this trip sells out, so sign up sooner rather than later. May I suggest it would make an excellent Christmas gift. 1 week, all-inclusive, all-adults resort in Los Cabos, Mexico. The price that Apple Vacation has secured for this trip is incredible and exclusive only to us, so don't miss out. Visit 560theanswer.com, keyword escape.
AM 560, The Answer.
And coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, how to find forgiveness during the holidays and beyond, and how Facebook has ruined the Christmas card business. Anyone seen a lack of Christmas cards this year? We'll explain, but first let's go back into the newsroom on this eve of Christmas Eve. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, thank you. 5:31, holiday season upon us. AAA says as of this morning, more than 100 million will enter the road or the skies between now and January 3rd, roughly 1 in 3 Americans. The woman accused of driving her car into a crowd on the Las Vegas Strip, now charged with murder, Lakeisha Holloway, is accused of killing an Arizona woman and injuring dozens of others. Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl, now formally charged with desertion and misbehavior before the enemy.
The judge explained Sergeant Bergdahl's right to be tried before a panel or a military judge. The judge also inquired if Sergeant Bergdahl wished to enter any motions or a plea. Sergeant Bergdahl deferred all of these decisions to a later hearing.
Bergdahl walked away from his outpost in Afghanistan in 2009. The Washington Post is in hot water this morning, retracting a political cartoon that took aim at Texas Senator Ted Cruz and his children. The sketch was drawn by Ann Telnis, captioned, "Ted Cruz uses his children as political props." It featured the Republican presidential candidate with his young daughters depicted as monkeys. Democrat presidential frontrunner Hillary Clinton continuing her war of words with Donald Trump.
What you're hearing from some of the Republicans, most particularly Mr. Trump, about Muslims is not only dangerous, it's shameful. It is not the kind of language somebody running to be president of the United States should be using.
Donald Trump may be defending his use of what some call a vulgar term to describe Hillary Clinton's loss in the 2008 presidential race, but GOP rival Jeb Bush is not.
Trump is not going to be president because he says these things. It turns people off. I mean, for crying out loud, we're 2 days before Christmas. Lighten up, man.
Former Florida governor campaigning in New Hampshire yesterday. A judge has ruled that Seattle's so-called gun violence tax is legal. King County, Washington's Superior Court judge ruled in favor of that law yesterday, holding up a $25 tax on every firearm sold and 2 to 5 cents to the price of certain types of ammunition. And it apparently was not a meteor, but it was sure bright in the western sky. Thousands saw it streak across the sky in the west, many in Las Vegas, near southern Nevada's planetarium.
Apparently, this one was seen over a very large area.
It was over a large area of the west. It appeared to be a meteor, visible for about 30 seconds, but U.S. Strategic Command this morning says the fireball was not a meteor. It was Russian space debris. A protest and march is planned for Christmas Eve on the Magnificent Mile. We'll have an update on that story for you this morning. Chicago city attorneys are threatening legal action against the mother of Ronald Johnson, and 3 suburban teens are accused of breaking into a St. Charles Parks facility and trashing it to the tune of $32,000 in damages. Chicago sports last night, Dallas beat the Blackhawks 4-0. The news service of Jewel Osco gets set to ring in the new year with extra savings when you shop Jewel Osco using My Mix on December 23rd and 24th. You'll automatically get a $5 off $50 MyMix coupon, good from December 26th through December 28th. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity wants the president to take action.
His whole presidency has involved the distortion of words. And if the choice is between believing what Obama said last night versus the previous, 7 years of his presidency, I'm going with the 7 years of his presidency. He didn't announce any major initiative to take on ISIS.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Remodel your kitchen or bath with Galaxy and get free installation, free design, and free financing. Call Galaxy at 773-783-8300 or schedule online at galaxyhome.com.
What if you could get the very best food from all around the country with the guaranteed lowest prices? Oh, and what if it's all shipped directly to your door, absolutely free? Well, rejoice, food lovers. DirectEats.com is here. Direct Eats gives us every consumer the freedom to find the best food at the best prices based on their diet, taste, or needs. That's because at DirectEats.com, the whole country is your supermarket. There's no membership fees, so give it a try. Just go to DirectEats.com and place your order today. DirectEats.com is the largest online natural and organic superstore. From locally made barbecue sauces to an array of nut-free, paleo, gluten-free, or anything and everything in between, the options go on and on. At Direct Eats, they have over 20,000 food products at the guaranteed lowest prices, and they ship them absolutely free right to your door. There's no membership fee, so why not get started on your next food adventure? Stop by DirectEats.com today. That's DirectEats.com.
536 in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. In for Jim, here's Dominic.
Plenty of fog, but traffic volume remains light. Eastbound Jane Addams a little bit tied up. Roselle to Gulf. Also have the entrance ramp to the eastbound side of the Jane Addams shut down at Barrington Road until about 6. In Elgin, southbound Route 25 closed Luda to River Bluff because of an overnight crash. On the southeast side, a car went into a building near 95th and Ewing overnight. And outbound Ike, that earlier crash just before Harlem, still there, now blocking off 2 left lanes. We've got some injuries on the scene. 24 minutes from the post office to Manheim, 37 to Thorndale. Traffic's the service of Let Us Entertain You. Give the gift that fits all appetites. The Let Us Entertain You gift card. Receive a free $25 holiday bonus for every $100 in Lettuce gift cards you buy. Simply visit a Lettuce restaurant or LEYE.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Windy, rainy, maybe a thunderstorm. High of 61. Fog and 45 right now. Next news at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. With Bruce Walsh sitting in on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Tom Mirabali Insurance. Find out more about a health savings account PPO. Call Tom at 630-863-3477.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good Wednesday morning and welcome back. Amy Jacobson here. Bruce Wolf, who's in for Dan Profton. You know, the holiday season, well, it's knocking at our door. Christmas is just 2 days away, and we're the eve of Christmas Eve. That's what I like to call it, Bruce. And holidays is a time to spend with family and friends, but it's also a time for forgiveness. And with that, we welcome to the program June Hunt. She's one of the world's leading biblical counselors. She has a show on our sister station, WYLL AM 1160. And June, we'd like to welcome you to the program.
Wonderful to be with you, Amy. Thank you.
So you wrote this new book, Forgiveness, the Freedom to Let Go. How can we let go, and what is true forgiveness?
That's a great question, because I do a call-in counseling program. Many people say, I can't forgive. And I'll ask, well, what do you think forgiveness means? And then I'll hear, well, it means being a weak martyr. It's explanations or descriptions that aren't anywhere near the truth. So thank you for asking what it actually means. I have ways to describe forgiveness, to define it, like with two D's: to dismiss a debt. If you owed someone money and it was a large amount of money, and here you are in this horrible car crash, and you now struggling. I mean, you see that you're not able to do your payments on time. That other person could say, Amy, I've chosen to forgive the debt. It means to dismiss the debt. And you think, well, why would I do that? Well, the truth is, if someone were to come to you and flim-flam you, now that means now under false pretenses,
that's happened.
Built money out of you.
Uh-huh.
And they say, but, I promise I'll pay this back in a week. So, you know what that's like? Initially, you think, okay, I'm going to be paid back what I was willing to loan. Well, finally, you realize there's no intention, because you find out this person, let's say it's me, I promise, Amy, I'm going to pay you back. And, but I need tires for my car, and somebody slashed all my tires, and I have to get to work, but I'll pay you back, X amount. And anyway, now you find out, I tell this kind of story to a lot of people. Well, initially you were expecting me to pay you back. And now, by the way, I've also joined your church. So now you're seeing me once a week. And how are you going to feel every time you see me?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. If you actually do forgive somebody, doesn't mean you have to be their friend, right? But you do forgive to liberate yourself so that you don't have to feel lousy about it, because what do they say about vengeance or having an axe to grind? It's like giving yourself poison and expecting the other person to die. But tell us, maybe you can give an illustration. Tell us about a time when you really struggled to forgive someone.
Well, it all centered initially around my father. My father had 3 families going on at the same time. He was cruel toward my mother, and I truly hated him. And I never will forget, just expecting. I kept expecting one day he would say, I'm sorry for something. He never did. So I stayed in bondage, and that's the point. Whether I'm the flim-flammer of you, either of you, or whatever, if basically it's like I'm not waiting for you to do right. I'm going to choose to forgive the debt. I'm going to choose to dismiss the debt, or it's to literally release resentment. What you're doing Bible does say, vengeance is mine, I will repay. It's talking about God. God is going to repay that person. And the point is this, that person needs to change life. My dad said Christianity's a crutch. If I'm the flim-flammer, I need to change life.
Well, June, how did forgiving your father help you grow as a person?
It was actually with clenched teeth. I said, Mother, how can you be so nice to him? And so when she said that, all of a sudden I thought, well, when she said, but, honey, he doesn't know the Lord. If he only knew the Lord, he wouldn't be that way. That made me realize, oh, I have the whole wrong mindset. She's looking beyond the fault and seeing the need.
Are you still struggling with it, though?
No.
You're not at all. You're liberated from it. You don't have any resentment to your father.
Well, the Bible even gives us the prescription. Pray for those who persecute you. If you really sincerely pray for that person, you're praying not for them to, well, at one time I prayed that, God, get him. But, I mean, and I was sincere. I was sincerely wrong in the way I was praying. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. It's very liberating, and I like your word. It's a right word. You are, Bruce, you are liberated because now you're looking at the fault. This is exactly what Jesus did.
I can't do it, June.
Oh, I can't. So, no, see,
can't do it.
And June, that's the difference between Bruce and I. I can look an enemy in the face and just forgive them and be nice to them, and then at night go home and pray for them. And that's it. Bruce can't do that.
Here's the thing. I forgive. I say the words and everything like that, and I forgive, but I still don't want to be your friend or anything. You don't have to do that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. That is the biggest misconception. And we explain the difference. There's a huge difference between forgiveness and reconciliation. In other words, forgiveness is one way only from the one who was wronged. Reconciliation requires two people in this way. Forgiveness is extended even if it's never earned. Reconciliation is offered the offender because it has been earned. Or to say it another way, forgiveness is a free gift to those who have broken trust. Reconciliation is restored relation based on, here's your key, restored trust. There has to be a change of behavior by the offender for reconciliation.
June Hunt, author of Forgiveness, The Freedom to Let Go, and a radio talk show host that is heard right here on our sister station, AM 1160. Thank you so much, June, for your time. We appreciate it.
My joy with you. Thank you.
And she joined us on our turnkey .pro answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
No white Christmas for the kiddies, but some severe thunderstorms possible?
Today, it's going to be windy, rain, and a T-storm in the PM. Storms can bring damaging winds, a high of 61 tonight. Winds gusting past 45 miles an hour. Showers early this evening, cloudy, a low of 37 on Christmas Day. Clouds and a break of sun, a high of 43. A low Friday night of 38. Now it's time for Check of Traffic with Dominic Fortini.
Eastbound Jane Addams on the brakes, Roselle to Gulf. In Elgin, southbound Route 25 shut down Luda to River Bluff because of an overnight crash. Eden's looking good. Inbound Kennedy at 20 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, pretty quiet. 10 in from the Junction 8 in the inbound express. It's the outbound side of the Ike. Two left lanes are blocked before Harlem, causing delays back into Austin. Also some Gapers delays on the inbound side between First Avenue and Oak Park. Everything else remains pretty quiet. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
We did it. That's right. Because of your generosity in support of our annual Feed the Children campaign, we were able to reach our goal of feeding over 18,000 children in and around the Chicagoland area this holiday season. Now, those are real families with real needs that you have helped to meet. And we especially want to thank the many business benefactors who stepped up in a big way. Now, when you hear their advertisements on this station in the coming months, we encourage you to support them as a way of saying thanks for their generosity. And you know what, Bruce? Just because we met our goal in 2015 doesn't mean that the need has gone away.
No.
Hunger is still a real challenge for thousands of families and children in our area, so please continue to support Feed the Children with a tax-deductible gift of any amount at any time. Just go to feedthechildren.org And thanks again from all of us here at AM 560, The Answer. Hi, Amy Jacobson here. Christmas is coming fast. Last-minute gifts are hard to find. So, guys, here it is. Put your love in a locket with Heartstrings customized lockets. It's super cool, a glass locket that opens to charms inside. Birthstones, initials, hobbies, sports. It's completely up to you. I've got birthstones in mind for my kids and a little microphone for the radio. It's something unique that captures her story in a locket. It's a home run Christmas gift, or ladies, make one for yourself. Choose from over 900 unique charms. Go to one of 4 Heartstrings kiosks at Orland Square Mall and Yorktown Center, Lower Level Center Court, or Gurney Mills and Fox Valley Mall near Macy's. A locket specialist will be right there with you every step of the way. A Heartstring customized locket. She wants it. Get it for her. Find them at Orland Square Mall, Yorktown Center, Fox Valley, or Gurney Mills, or online at yourheartstring.com. That's YOUR heartstring.com. Mention the promo code Amy and get a free charm.
Everywhere you go, the threat looms. It follows you no matter what you do. The longer you avoid the IRS and the financial difficulties you're going through, the closer they get to you. John DeWatt of Thinking Outside the Box Law Firm can help you end the feeling of being hunted by the IRS. If you've avoided taxes or could benefit from the life-saving assistance of bankruptcy, it's time you call John DeWatt. This is an attorney who is willing to take on the federal government on your behalf. He has worked to discharge thousands of dollars in penalties, and he can help you settle your debts once and for all. Call 888-777-4193. Let the hunters become the hunted. Let John DeWatt of Thinking Outside the Box Law Firm deal with the IRS personally. Call John for your own relief plan. 888-777-4193 or online at thinkingoutsidetheboxlaw.com. That's thinkingoutsidetheboxlaw.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
So, Bruce, I know that you're Jewish and you celebrate Hanukkah. And happy Hanukkah. It's over now. We have a
Forget
menorah.
about it. It's not that big a holiday.
We have a menorah in the hallway, and so I know that every night a candle was lit. Well, not
Sure.
a candle, but a fake candle, and then
Well, a real candle if you're really celebrating it. If you're in the office here, you have electric candles.
exactly
I get it.
because it's the safer route
Really,
to
you
take.
don't want to torch
No, you
the
don't.
AM 560
No, you
headquarters
don't.
just for the sake of honoring another religion.
So, do you hand out
Yeah.
holiday cards or Hanukkah cards? How does it work? Because
Uh,
I always get Hanukkah cards because my last
too.
name is Jewish, or my
Right.
last name is Jacobson. Everyone
Right.
thinks it's Jewish.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks Walter's my dad, which
Sure.
sometimes I go along with that. But
Because you
no.
look exactly alike.
You know, we're kind of the same height. I don't know if you've
He's
noticed.
blonde.
Well, if he
Yeah.
stands up on a milk carton, milk crate, we're the same height.
I am standing, Amy.
The first time I finally met him, I said,
Sure.
Walter, oh my gosh, everyone thinks I'm your daughter. And
That's so funny.
he said, daughter, you could be my wife. And I said, oh, the fourth one? Hey, oh, no, that's so bad.
Walter's
But he
great.
wrote a book, Walter Jacobson's Perspective.
Mhm.
And in the book, he mentioned that he's not my father
Oh,
in one of the
that's so
chapters. But he
sweet.
wrote about what happened to me and, the incident that happened back in 2007. And he wrote had a lot of nice things to say about me.
Because Walter Jacobson had something that rivals or may even be worse.
Then
He
what?
was-
What I
he
did
was
wasn't
found gui-
bad. It was just questionable, but it wasn't wrong.
Hey,
I
I
don't think.
I think you should still be at Channel 5.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bruce. Hey, did you hear that? Bruce Wolf still thinks I
You
should
got
be
my
on Channel 5.
endorsement. So Walter was found guilty of libel. He libeled a cigarette company. You know how hard it is to libel a cigarette company? How do you libel cancer?
He found a way to do it.
He did it.
So what
I did it. I'm guilty.
Yeah, he came out and he admitted that. You mentioned that the other day, but what exactly did he do?
It was some kind of report where he said that the Brown and Williamson Tobacco Company had, I think what he had said was they were trying to gear their advertising towards children or whatever, which I think later on it was discovered that they did. But at the time it didn't. I can't remember the facts exactly, but a jury came down against Walter Jacobson.
Did he have to pay any money?
Well,
or did the station have to cough up some
It
cash?
was like a $5 million verdict, but I don't know ever what happened. But it was hysterical because he was on TV when the verdict was announced that day, and he was doing the news, so he actually announced it himself. I was found guilty today of libel. They couldn't have gotten somebody else, some other Jacobson like you to do
That's
it,
great, though.
or Bill Curtis.
Good, he owned it. Don't fear from it. Don't run away from it. Own it. And I laugh when people come up to me and say, gosh, I wish you were on TV again.
Mm-hmm.
I say, well, so do I, as a joke, like, it's okay. Or they'll say, I miss you on TV. And I say, I miss me too on TV.
I
just so
I
you
do
can
the
joke
same
around
thing.
about it. And,
You joke, but you hurt.
Well, I'm not, I don't think, I think
Have
I've
you
gotten over
forgiven?
that.
We just talked to June Hunt before. Have you forgiven NBC?
No, it wasn't NBC. I was not forgiving. It was the reporter from Channel 2 who did it to me. The person who took the videotape, the homeowner, there's a whole list.
NBC let you go. They didn't have your back.
No, I know. And I had to forgive them too, and I did.
Okay. All right, there
I
you go.
have found forgiveness.
Have you reconciled with them?
Yeah, I have one person in particular. I'm not going to say who. We had a long chat, went out for coffee, and we're good friends. And we see each other a lot at the gym, and we're on good terms. Okay?
Oh.
We'll leave it at that. But back to my Christmas card story that I wanted to talk to you about. Do you receive, so you don't hand out Hanukkah cards?
I get cards for Christmas from people for years and years and years, and I never send out anything. Nothing.
Why not? You never have?
I'm a Grinch or Scrooge or something.
Well, it takes a lot of time. I mean, you have to take the picture,
I've got
then
a daughter,
you have to get the addresses, and then the labels and the
Jewish,
stamps.
I'm Jewish. You have bar and bat mitzvahs, and then you send out thank you cards. I have a daughter who's 25 years old who still has not sent out thank you cards from her bat mitzvah from when she was 13. So people have been waiting at their mailbox for 12 years for thank you
You need to
cards.
do that. Get on that. But because of the advent of Facebook and Twitter, a lot of people, I mean, I normally get 24, 25 Christmas cards a year. I've only gotten 7 this year. 7. And I'm like you. I don't hand out Christmas cards,
But you
which
count,
is awful.
you're counting.
I know,
who's-
but you know why? And my one friend that didn't send me a Christmas card, I said, hey, why no Christmas card this year with the letter, the type letter, August was busy and June we did this. And she said, well, I don't have to because you can see everything that I'm doing on Facebook.
That kind of takes the luster
And it's
out.
so true because
Right.
everybody puts their whole lives on Facebook and pictures of their kids. And, I
and tries to create the image that they have a good life.
yeah,
When
everything's
in
fine
fact
here.
that they don't.
Well, no, every family is dysfunctional. Even the family on the block that you grew up with that you thought, wow, look at how perfect they are. And the Joneses are perfect. No, everyone has problems in their family. You just sometimes don't hear about it. But back to the Christmas
Until the
card.
police come at
To the
4
police-
a.m.
Not good. Stop beating your wife. So the lesson learned is that Facebook, Twitter, don't steal our Christmas card season.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Lately, it seems you're not feeling quite right, as if your body is working against you. Dr. Amy and Associates can help create a path to achieve optimal health. Experience personalized health care for your mind, body, and spirit at a practice that blends holistic and traditional medicine.
Hi, I'm Dr. Amy Harris-Nuon of Dr. Amy and Associates. As an integrative health and wellness center, we take a team approach to your health care, so we welcome the opportunity to work collaboratively with your current health care provider. We're different from today's typical standard of care because our focus is understanding the root cause of your health problem, not just treating the symptoms. It's a personalized approach that explores a wide range of proven treatments and one that's focused on helping you achieve your health and wellness goals so you can achieve a full, happy, and satisfying life.
Call Dr. Amy and Associates to experience a whole person integrative approach to health and wellness. 630-980-1400 or visit DrAmyAndAssociates.com. Dr. Amy and Associates, empowering people, changing lives.
For a long time, Turnkey IT has been providing solutions to AM 560 business owners. It's a name that you've come to know and trust. Turnkey IT takes care of your technology and has a plan that fits your company's IT budget and network needs. Interested in moving some or all of your business to the cloud? Turnkey IT can migrate your network to Microsoft's Office 365. Need someone to call when you can't print, have lost a file, or need tech support? Turnkey IT's got you covered. Off-site backup? Check. On-site support? Check. Help desk support? Check. Turnkey IT staff is professional, friendly, punctual. Will solve all your technical problems immediately or even after normal business hours, all for a fixed monthly rate. Turnkey IT knows your network is truly the heartbeat of your company. Focus on your business and leave the technical stuff to the pros. Visit turnkey.pro today for a plan that fits your needs. That's turnkey.pro.
That's Lizbeth. She doesn't know it, but she owes her life to a change in public opinion. Our younger generation of women is turning the tide of public opinion concerning abortion. The most recent statistics show that more women facing unwanted pregnancies are choosing life compared to 15 years ago. Many wonder why, if a pregnant woman and her unborn child are murdered, it's a double homicide. Yet they ask, why isn't abortion a crime? More women now value life, even if their unwanted child is to be placed for adoption, because they may feel like they can never forgive themselves of an abortion, even if the law does. Lake County Right to Life, helping young women choose courage over convenience. LCRTL.org. That's LCRTL.org. Visit Lake County Right to Life on Twitter and Facebook, or call 847-223-7022.
Change in the market shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. In fact, since World War II, we've seen a correction on average about once every 18 months. That's why Arlington Capital Management developed proprietary tools that help them to see what's beyond your investment horizon. Like an experienced ship captain uses tools to avoid stormy weather, Arlington Capital Management uses tools to guide you through market corrections before it's too late and help us decide when to capitalize on opportunity. Call Arlington Capital Management today at 855-471-5796 to learn how their active management systems can help you. Each day, they actively explore the market, our economy, and all the variables that affect your investments. Stormy markets never cloud their vision. The professionals at Arlington Capital Management use their tools and experience to guide them. Call Arlington Capital Management today at 855-471-5796 for a financial review. The number again is 855-471-5796, or learn more at arlington-capital.com.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, they're trying to get the mayor's attention. Thousands are planning a protest along Michigan Avenue on Christmas Eve.
And the biggest lie of the year goes to...
Quite the tease, Bruce Wolf.
Oh, yes.
But first, let's go back into the newsroom and say good morning to Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, large Michigan Avenue protests are set. We'll get reaction from Gregory Livingston with the Coalition for a New Chicago. City attorneys accused Ronald Johnson's mother of threatening a police officer. 3 teens charged in a break-in at a park facility in the suburbs, and Patrick Sharp leads the Stars over the Blackhawks. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. A lot of Americans are dreaming of a warm Christmas.
We're looking at the potential of 65 new record highs Wednesday across, basically east of the Mississippi.
National Weather Service meteorologist Brian Hurley. It'll be in the 60s and 70s tomorrow, Christmas Eve, from Maryland up to New England. It does feel like winter, though, from Washington State to North Dakota down to New Mexico. Storm warnings up in 8 states, and there's the threat of tornadoes in parts of the South. A lot of Americans are hitting the road. A record 100 million of us expected to travel from today through the Sunday after New Year's. Most will drive. AAA says we're paying the lowest gas prices since 2009.
We shouldn't let anybody bully his way into the presidency.
That's Hillary Clinton after Donald Trump's call for an apology after the Democratic frontrunner said the Republican race leaders become ISIS's best recruiter. This is, we learn, fewer GOP candidates will be in the next prime time debate next month.
6 candidates currently set to make the main stage after Fox Business announced criteria for the debate yesterday. Right now, those 6 would be Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, Ben Carson, Jeb Bush, and Chris Christie.
That's Fox's Garrett Tenney. There's another incident involving a Secret Service agent. Fox's Rachel Sutherland, live in Washington.
Dave, someone stole a Secret Service agent's gun, badge, and flash drive from his personal vehicle in broad daylight earlier this week. It happened around 4 o'clock Monday afternoon near the agency's headquarters in Washington. The Secret Service is offering few details, but a police report describes the agent returning to his car and noticing a bag was missing. There's no word on what was on the flash drive, which reports say was encrypted. This is the latest in a series of mishaps. A recent congressional review called the Secret Service an agency in crisis. Dave.
Rachel, more death at sea. In Europe's refugee crisis, at least 13 people drowned when a small plastic boat headed from Turkey to Greece sank. 7 of the dead are kids. Another 15 people were rescued. 1 is still missing. This is Fox News Radio. Fair and balanced.
Cloudy skies this morning, 42 degrees, and fog in the area. 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer by Mike Scott. A protest in March planned for Christmas Eve on the magnificent Mayo. Gregory Livingston with the Coalition for a New Chicago is hoping disrupting some last-minute shoppers may create change at City Hall.
We do want to stop people, if it be at all possible, from going in these stores. Why?
because it's better to bleed green than to bleed red.
Meantime, last night, protesters held a die-in outside Mayor Emanuel's City Hall office, then also marched downtown. Chicago City attorneys are taking legal action against the mother of Ronald Johnson. Court filing accuses Dorothy Holmes of threatening the police officer who killed her son, Officer George Hernandez. Chicago Park District has argued successfully that it is following the long-standing court order by not making any political hires. Federal judge ruled yesterday the department is in compliance with the Shackman ban on patronage hiring. 3 suburban teens are accused of busting into a St. Charles Parks facility, then trashing it to the tune of $32,000 in damages. The suspects were arrested Monday after they were caught on surveillance cameras. Authorities are investigating the possible sexual assault of a student at Oak Park and River Forest High School. The incident happened earlier this month inside the school building. So far, no charges have been filed. Cook County Sheriff Tom Dart wants the feds to investigate the Harvey Police Department. Dart sending a letter to the Department of Justice requesting that probe, claiming the south suburb has a number of issues, including excessive force and unsolved homicide and sexual assault cases. Chicago sports, college hoops. Our Northern Illinois Huskies winners over Roosevelt, 85-52. DePaul with a big-time college hoops upset, beating George Washington, 82-61. On the ice, Patrick Sharp led the Dallas Stars past his former team, the Blackhawks, 4-0. Right here on AM 560 at around 3:30 with a kick. It's Northern Illinois and Boise State in San Diego at the Poinsettia Bowl. The news, a service of Cabela's. Find your last-minute gifts at Cabela's Christmas sale in Hoffman Estates and Hammond, Indiana. Shop for amazing deals on all of your favorite brands or get the gift that always fits, Cabela's gift cards. Don't miss the Cabela's Christmas sale. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
I think America is dying.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Everybody came here to be free. Everybody came here to strike it out on their own. Everybody wanted government to stay out of their hair. Everybody wanted to be free. Not today. We have way too many people in America who no longer want that America.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Remodel your kitchen or bath with Galaxy and get free installation, free design, and free financing. Call Galaxy at 773-783-8300 or schedule online at galaxyhome.com.
In a world where massive dunks are cheered, hitting buckets from downtown are praised, where winning is everything, are you ready? This is Huskies basketball on the Huskies Sports Network.
Watch live action Huskies basketball at the Convocation Center as they take on the Ohio Bobcats on Wednesday, January 6th at 7 p.m. This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas. Great coffee. Period.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
6:06 this morning in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. In for Jim, here's Dominic.
Eastbound Jane Addams slow rolling Rosella Route 53 as they pick up that overnight road construction. Edens remains in decent shape. Inbound Kennedy without delay. 20 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 10 in from the junction. 8 in the inbound Express. That earlier crash on the outbound Ike near Harlem's been picked up, but we've got slowdowns from Central to Austin. And on the inbound side, watch for delays beginning right near Mannheim into Harlem. Traffic's a service of SoundHound. Song stuck in your head, sing or hum it into the SoundHound app and get the results you're looking for. SoundHound's the only music search app that lets you use your voice to discover music. Hear a song you love, open SoundHound and tap the orange button to find out more or buy the song. Download SoundHound for free from your app store now. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Windy today with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Otherwise, periods of rain and a thunderstorm with a high 60. Showers early in the evening. Otherwise, cloudy and windy tonight with gusts up to 35 miles per hour. A low tonight of 36. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Keeping an eye on the flight boards right now. If you're traveling, heading to the airport, a few problems at LaGuardia and in Philadelphia this morning. Nothing too significant, but you'll find delays into those airports. Next news at 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy. Bruce Wolf with us this morning on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
Good morning. Welcome to your Wednesday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
Vorderbruggen and 5 other U.S. airmen were meeting Afghan leaders near Bagram Air Base when a suicide bomber on motorcycle drove into the group and detonated his bomb, killing all 6 Americans.
If there is a limit to how far Donald Trump will go with his crude insults and schoolyard-like taunting, we're still waiting to see it.
She was going to beat, she was favored to win, and she got schlonged. She lost. She lost.
You're offended. The average American is not.
We're going to take a live look at Michigan Avenue this afternoon, where a very large march and protest planned for Christmas Eve. Several organizations are putting the event together, urging people to shop off the Mag Mile. They're saying that they're trying to get Mayor Rahm Emanuel's attention, and ultimately they want to get him to resign.
We do want to stop people, if it be at all possible, from going in these stores. Why? Because it's better to bleed green than to bleed red.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Boots and pants and 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 boots and pants.
Good Wednesday morning, and thank you so much for making us a part of your morning. Amy Jacobson here, in with Bruce Wolf, who's in for Dan Proft, who's going to Cuba to hang out with Mayor Emanuel. See, he's going to Cuba to bring Rahm Emanuel back so that he can resign.
See, I wanted Dan to bring back Elian Gonzalez to run the city.
Oh, yeah. Well, that might be better, but the protests keep continuing, Dan.
Anita Alvarez got to go.
Hey, hey. So they sing that, they chant that, and then they chant, hey, hey, ho, ho, Rahm Emanuel has got to go. They have a lot of catchy slogans, and it doesn't stop.
You sound like you're derisive here.
Well,
I'm simpatico, that's the right word, probably isn't, with the protesters, even though they might be breaking the law.
Well, more and more college students are back on break, and they're taking part of these protests. There was one yesterday, but the news this morning is that there is a huge one planned for tomorrow on Michigan Avenue on Christmas Eve. And protesters, get this. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Here's their demands. Protesters are urging people to shop elsewhere as they try to get Mayor Emanuel's attention and ultimately force him to resign. So protesters held a die-in last night outside the office of Mayor Rahm Emanuel, blah, blah, blah. Then they left City Hall and marched downtown. Demonstrations have been ongoing and unrelenting. I've been caught twice in traffic jams because of the protesters.
It's all about you.
No, it's not all about me, but it's all about the city of Chicago and these retailers are being punished.
You know what? I have no sympathy.
The retailers are being punished, and regular Chicagoans, hardworking Chicagoans who just want to go out on Christmas Eve and buy Christmas gifts. Let me finish my sentence.
I have no sympathy for the retailers because they're part of it. Because they're the fat cats who support Rahm Emanuel, and they're being hoisted by their own petard.
No, it's
As
BS.
Dan Proft would say.
It's not true. I'm just sick of all of their demands, starting with Laquan McDonald's family.
And Mr. President, I want you to send a representative from the White House to North Lawndale to convene a White House summit on gun violence and urban poverty and police brutality.
And since Laquan McDonald's family received $5 million from Rahm Emanuel, they want everyone to resign but Rahm Emanuel.
Anita Alvarez has forfeited the moral high ground, and she's lost the trust of the people of the county of Cook and the city
Can I get
of
an
Chicago.
amen? Is this the family of
Laquan McDonald?
And they're complaining about Anita Alvarez, but not Rahm Emanuel.
Yeah, and they even said that at the beginning of the press conference.
They're not complaining about Rahm
No,
Emanuel.
they even said we're not asking for him to resign
because
he gave them $5 million. 312-642-5600
That's
is
the moral
our
high ground.
Turnkey.pro answer line, or send us a text on our Turnkey.pro text line 64636. Type in DA and then your comment. But because they want us to avoid Michigan Avenue on Christmas Eve, I'm going down to Michigan Avenue on Christmas Eve.
And you know what? Are you?
No. I'm seriously
no.
sick and tired.
Did you ever see the movie The Lemon Drop Kid?
No, I
with
haven't.
Bob Hope, and he's with Marilyn Maxwell, and it's a Christmas movie, and they're walking down like Fifth Avenue. And I know you want to walk down. You want to walk down Michigan Avenue with your honey.
With all the protesters.
No, with your honey, and walk right through the protesters, and you want to sing Silver Bells.
Oh, my God. Stop it.
Silver Bells.
All right, so the group of protesters becoming more diverse. Now the Latinos, that's what I call them because I have children who are Latinos. They're Latinos.
You're allowed to say that.
I am because my kids are Boricuas. And they say, Mom, don't make fun of me because I'm a Latino. It's a big joke in our family. But the Latinos are now getting involved and joining the protest. Here is Javier Ruiz.
Walking down the street, police assumed that we had like guns stashed. He comes in here, calls like 3 squad cars to come, interrogate us, look for evidence that's not there.
And that might be the case. There might be some racial profiling going on because I have seen it personally happen to Latinos. My ex-husband, I was with him one time and he got stopped. And just because he fit a description, I mean, everybody's a 5'10" Hispanic male. When you see,
Sure.
But it happens. But they said that it's gone a little too far.
They don't trust the police. Whenever there's problems, the last thing they do is call the police.
So they want people to avoid shopping on Michigan Avenue to bring back Mayor Emanuel. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's the Alinsky way of doing things.
Go to the heart of Chicago, to the financial heart, really the heartbeat of Chicago, the showcase of Chicago with the beautiful lights and the upscale stores. If we raid those stores, which sometimes they actually, protesters walk into the store. I don't know if you saw them walking into Macy's on State Street. It looked like a flash mob. I mean, it was scary.
Like, I feel sorry for Macy's. They carpetbag and they come here and they take away Marshall Fields. I'm surprised we even have the Frango mints left.
If you are shopping with your kids or by yourself, I mean, it's frightening. If you're in your car and these protesters are coming at you, it's frightening.
So don't go there. Go to Oak Brook.
No, 312-642-5600 is our number.
I'll take your business.
Let's go to Marie, who joins us from Kenosha, Wisconsin. Good morning, Marie.
Hi. Thank you for having me on. I'm going to bring up a point that has been mentioned here many times on your show, specifically probably in the whole radio station, is I would like to know if anyone's going to produce or hand the leader of all these protests, the names of the 39 people that were killed somehow during the Labor Day weekend in Chicago alone, and ask them if they recognize any of those names and if they're marching for these people, too.
Good point, Marie.
Marie, I'll meet you at the Broad Stop on Route 50, okay?
But that's, they said it's better to bleed green than bleed red. Try and make sense of this.
We do want to stop people, if it be at all possible, from going in these stores. Why? Because it's better to bleed green than to bleed red.
And that's Reverend Gregory Livingston. We've had him on several times. He's leading the charge to get Mayor Emanuel to resign.
And the green and the red is a Christmas motif. I get it. Yeah.
We're trying to prevent any more situations of people not being able to enjoy their families, the holidays with their families, because they've been unjustly killed.
Let's join Mike now, who joins us from the north side. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. These protesters are really smart. When they were meeting down on Michigan Avenue by Millennium Park on Black Friday, I saw a bunch of them get out of an Uber car. So if you want to send a message to Rahm Emanuel, make his brother a millionaire.
You know what? If Jesse Jackson were still alive, and he's not, John Cass points this out. I mean, he's creaky old Jesse Jackson. If he were alive, you know what he'd do?
Reverend Jesse Jackson?
Yeah, if you're still alive. Because he was late to the party on this. What he would do was he would get the top black athletes who are going to be eligible for the first round of the National Football League draft, which is scheduled to be in Chicago, right? He would get them to boycott it. You'd see how fast the pressure would be put on Rahm Emanuel to get out. Because these protests are fine, but you need more. Do I have to go down there and organize this thing myself?
Yes, you do. Because there's certain groups. There's Black Lives Matter group, then there's the Black Youth Project, and then what was the one yesterday? The group that brought the petitions to the mayor's office. Oh, Change of Color.
El Rukins?
No, Change of Colors.
Oh, okay.
Wow, they're running out of names.
Peace Stone Nation?
Let's go to Ron, who joins us from the south side. Good morning, Ron.
Hey, good morning, Amy. Hey, Bruce. Amy, I agree with you. I disagree with you, Bruce. those merchants you referred to as the fat cats who pretty much back Romney Emanuel. Well, there's some other people who backed him that have just as much influence, and particularly in those communities. I'm sure some of the people, the Bobby Rush's former loser, Alderman Dorothy Tillman. But see, my thing is, if I don't shop on Michigan Avenue, but if I decide to, I would go ahead and do it. And I would have no respect for those people who pick it. There was an election. Go picket Bobby Rush's office.
Wait a minute. You're a black guy from the South Side, and I have to argue in favor of your position, and you're arguing like...
Well, that's a lot of games. You know what? That's stuff with it. Look, there was an election, okay?
Yeah, but
Amy knows I came on this airway. I was a big critic of Rahm Emanuel. So you know what? And you know what you need to do? Check those districts and those wards where a lot of those so-called protesters come from. Let's look at the vote. They did not. So you'd rather stand down there and stop people from doing what they have a right to do when it only takes, 20 minutes to go in and vote the man out?
Yeah,
so
but
you know
here's
what?
the thing, Ron,
Ron,
people weren't mobilized enough because they didn't get to see the video. They were disenfranchised. Rahm Emanuel is a latter-day Jim Crow mayor. He imposed an illiteracy test.
Right. He was selfish for his own political purposes, and we all know that. Let's go to Scott, who joins us from West Chicago. Good morning, Scott.
Hi, Dan and Amy. I've been working in the Streeterville neighborhood for 25 years, and I remember when I used to have to wait to cross Michigan Avenue because of the pedestrians. But it's not like that anymore. People don't go to Michigan Avenue to shop. In fact, it's kind of deserted these last couple days. The other thing that I would like to say that these protesters, the police should be there checking IDs, and if they've got the link card, if they live in public housing, if they're getting government assistance, it should be cut off immediately.
What are you talking about?
That's racial profiling.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's
no,
discrimination.
what are you talking about?
Thanks for the idea, Scott. I appreciate it. Let's go to Frank. Good old Frank, who joins us.
These are people like from Steve Allen's Alley, right? They're not real callers.
They're real
it's like Don Knotts.
Scott is a regular caller. Here's Frank from St. Charles. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning. Hey, whatever happened to the old-fashioned way of burning down your own neighborhood, you know? I mean, come on. Get back to our roots.
I know. Well, don't take it out on the retailers.
Hey, look, Frank, my father owned hardware stores on the west side where when the riots were about to occur, you try and paint Soul Brother on the window of the store and say, I'm with you. And it didn't exactly work.
Did your dad do that?
He didn't. But he got burnt out. I didn't like what they did and everything like that. And I don't like burning down your own neighborhood. But these people, as long as they protest peacefully, whatever.
These people? What year is this person? People?
I'm going down there. I'm going down there if they'll let me, because they might say we need our safe space and we don't want you, Jewish boy who lives near the Wisconsin border, to come here. But I'm sympathetic to what they're trying to do. Rahm Emanuel should not be the mayor of the city of Chicago.
312-642-5600 is our Turnkey.pro answer line. What should we do? Should we avoid Michigan Avenue on Christmas Eve? And here's another question. Should Mayor Rahm Emanuel come back early from his trip to Cuba? Your phone call's coming up.
Many Christmases ago, I went to buy a doll for my son. I reached for the last one they had, but so did another man. As I rained blows upon him, I realized there had to be another way. What happened to the doll? It was destroyed. But out of that, a new holiday was born. A Festivus for the rest of us.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Will we have a white Christmas? No, but there's some severe weather coming our way.
It certainly is, Amy. And hi, I'm John Coleman here. Let me get the weather. It is going to be windy, rainy with a thunderstorm in the PM. Storms can bring damaging winds, a high of 61. Tonight, winds gusting past 45 miles an hour. Showers early this evening, cloudy, a low of 37. On Christmas Day, clouds and breaks of sun, a high of 43, low Friday night of 38. Now it's time for a check of traffic with Dominic Fortini.
Roads remain pretty foggy, but pretty quiet in most spots. Edens and Kennedy rolling right along. Outbound side of the Eisenhower, 31 minutes from the post office to Thorndale. Inbound, we had some earlier Gapers delays to a crash. It's still staying in with those delays between Manheim and Harlem. 32 minutes from Thorndale into the post office, while the inbound Stevenson hits the brakes. Pulaski to Kedzie. 36 minutes from 355 into Lakeshore Drive. We've got a crash southbound 55 at Weber Road. And inbound Ryan tightening up near the Stevenson, already 20 minutes. 95th into downtown. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Dan Proft with an Upstream idea, brought to you in part by the Illinois Policy Institute. 97. That's the percentage of Chicago Teachers Union members who voted yes in a recent mock vote. Yes, they voted. They are prepared to go out on strike for the second time in 4 years. The annual average CPS teacher salary is just under $80,000. And that's before you include their health insurance benefits and guaranteed 7-figure pensions. The bankrupt, junk-rated Chicago public schools spend more than $15,000 annually per pupil, and yet 75% of 4th and 8th graders are neither proficient in reading nor math. This in a system of nearly 400,000 students. So who's the bad guy here? Is it the teachers union or the mayor's office? Yes, there are no white hats in the story of central planners from City Hall fighting with the central planners from the teachers union over who gets to be the lead central planner at CPS. If the teachers strike, they deserve to be unlocked from their jobs. CPS students deserve access to schools that will give them the opportunity to earn an education that sets them on a course for success in life. The only way that happens is if the adults inside CPS, the parents, and the adults outside CPS, state political leaders, change the flow of money away from central planners and to families so that they may make the same choices for their children that Tiny Dancer did for his kids matriculating at the University of Chicago Lab School. For more ideas like this, visit upstream-ideas.com. I'm Dan Proft.
This is Sam Gilberto, president of American Embroidery and Screen Printing and American Marketing Products. We specialize in putting your logo on just about anything. Our focus is entirely on you, our customer. We want every customer experience to be outstanding. American Embroidery and Screen Printing is a brick-and-mortar business located in Glendale Heights. Our equipment and manufacturing processes are state-of-the-art, so are the people who work here. With over 40 years' experience, we have the capability, capacity, and know-how to get your job done right and on time. I want to earn your business, so for a limited time, we're offering free artwork on embroidery and screen printing orders for all new customers. Let us help you gear up for that big trade show, provide shirts or jackets for all your employees, students, or church members, or simply provide you with giveaway items such as coffee mugs, pens, or hats. Whatever it is, you can trust an American to take care of it. It's easy to contact us, trustinamerican.com. That's trustinamerican.com, or call at 630-766-2825.
Are you or someone you know facing foreclosure? Losing the family home? Well, you'd be not alone, so please listen to this. There are a lot of issues in a foreclosure, legal issues, factual issues. Dozens so far, and more coming to light every day. You see, people, we are in the aftermath of what will go down in history as the greatest financial crime in history, from which a lot of people profited immensely. And these people did not always do things entirely legally. That is a foregone conclusion. I'm Lou Bridges. I put together a law firm dedicated to foreclosure defense and to avoiding foreclosure by working with the banks, based on a thorough examination and analysis of all the potential issues and questions. And we have surrounded ourselves with people equally committed to this pursuit of justice.
Call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231. Or visit FightIllinoisForeclosures.com. That's FightIllinoisForeclosures.com. Get real answers from a real foreclosure defense firm and discover the legal tools at your disposal.
AM 560, The Answer.
I wish I was in the Christmas mood, but these protesters are getting under my skin. They're urging people to shop elsewhere on Christmas Eve because they're having a big protest tomorrow on Michigan Avenue, and they're doing this to try and get Mayor Emanuel's attention and ultimately force him to resign. Don't give in to protest. I mean, look at these America's youth right here. They think they're so entitled that they're going to tell me where I can go and where I can shop and what I should do.
It's all about you. There's a bigger cause
it's about
here,
all
Amy.
of us. And these people, a lot of them aren't even from Chicago. They're outside agitators.
Well, you sound like the old Mayor Daley now.
Well, this is what's going on. All right, let's go to Matt, who's in Joliet. What are we going to do? And should Rahm Emanuel come back from his vacation?
No, we should go to him. We should get on dolphins and swim to Cuba.
Matt and Joliet, you're on.
Good morning, Bruce. Miss you, love you, man. Amy, have a great Christmas, happy Hanukkah, all that good stuff.
Yeah, Kwanzaa.
Now, here's what I want to know. Where's Father Flagelhorn in all this? Is it because he's white? We can't. There's our poster boy for gun control and gun violence and black matter and this and that and that. Where's he at,
he's
man?
watching an endless loop of Chirac because John Cusack plays him in the movie.
Right. No, he was there. He actually was instrumental in organizing the first protest on Michigan Avenue. So I don't know if he's going to be at this one because we have three different groups: Black Lives Matter, Black Youth Project, and then the Color Change group.
I don't think Father Flager knows exactly what to do. I think Father Flager's flummoxed.
No,
Can you say that 10 times real fast?
Oh, and you know what? My friend's a police officer, and texted me a picture of after the protest on Michigan Avenue, the first one. Father Pfleger went into Nordstrom's and was shopping, and he took a picture of him shopping.
Well, sure. I mean,
how convenient.
Kill two birds with one stone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Philip in Blue Island, you're on the morning answer.
It's funny how all these racists are coming out. Oh, when was the time they used to burn up their own neighborhoods and they don't need to do this? So corruption with the Chicago police going all the way up to the mayor's office is pretty much okay with you, right, Amy? It's fine. As long as it's killing black people.
No.
Especially black
listen,
teenagers.
there are some.
No, that's what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying go police officers to go kill black teenagers. I'm saying
No,
this.
you're saying the corruption is fine.
Pardon?
The corruption is fine.
Corruption is not fine, but I don't feel that you should take it out on retailers on Michigan Avenue and on tax-paying, hardworking citizens of Chicago who just want to do some last-minute Christmas shopping.
Where's all the revenue going? Are there jobs for young black children or Hispanic children? Are there revenues going into Inglewood or into Roseland? No, there's no city.
Philip, what Amy's trying to say is that two wrongs don't make a reverend right. But here's the thing: I agree with you that I'm
right. Really?
That's
what y'all do. Y'all joke around. Y'all make fun of black people.
No,
and that's the perfect definition of a racist. Who makes fun of black people, especially when we're having such a hard time just trying to get...
Philip, I'm on the protesters' side. I think Rahm Emanuel should go. What more do you want from me?
But don't make fun of the Reverend Wright. We know what you're talking about when you say Reverend Wright.
Yeah, because he's a bad guy. He is a bad guy.
That's Bruce's opinion. Because he says, God damn
bad
America,
guy.
and that's a problem
Yeah,
for a
he's a
lot of
bad
people.
guy. I'm sorry.
Philip, thank you for the phone
Thank you.
call. And seriously, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. Quickly, let's go to John, who joins us from Arlington Heights. Good morning, John.
Hey, Amy, I just wanted to say, you know what? Stay away from Michigan Avenue. Keep your family safe. There's so much tension building up these days. I really feel like something will happen, you know. And this goes out to anybody, you know. Just stay away from it, you know. Keep your family safe. It's the holidays. And, you know, Rahm must go. But, you know, just be safe, you know.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for the phone call. Rahm must go, but I don't think this is the way to do it. Because as we always say, don't confuse activity for accomplishment.
I own that. This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I've been taking it, and I'm actually feeling better. I know that I'm not coughing anymore, and I was coughing all the time.
I notice my body feels better.
I have diabetes. I had my blood work done, and I had really good numbers.
I want to thank you for, you know, your product and all that. It's been great.
I got my kids taking them now. I got my parents taking them, my brothers, my best friends. I got everybody on them.
I love the product, and I love Dr. Howard. I trust him. I feel safe. I think his product is superb. I'm going to continue with it.
Get started early on your New Year's resolution with our best price of the year. Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
I am so excited to tell everybody who's considered buying a MyPillow but hasn't that now with the buy one get one free offer, you're also get a 60-day money-back guarantee. Basically, you can try MyPillow risk-free. You have nothing to lose and could be enjoying your best sleep ever. What are you waiting for? It's so important that you get a great night's sleep. And, you know, I think I need another MyPillow because my wife is taking mine as well. She's got hers. You know, what's mine is hers and what's hers is hers. And I think I need one for myself here. MyPillow helps with snoring, headaches, neck pain, insomnia, allergies, and more. Plus, it's washable, keeps its shape, and gives you support where you need it most. That's why it's the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation. For the MyPillow buy one, get one free offer and 60-day money-back guarantee, visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. Please use the promo code AMY. Do it now. This offer is for a limited time, 800-489-0201 or online at MyPillow.com. Promo code AMY, 800-489-0201.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, how will the new interest rate affect you? And also, what is the biggest lie of the year? We'll have the answer. But first, let's go back into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, 47 degrees.
Afghanistan's acting defense minister says international military help is needed, especially airstrikes in a southern district of Helmand province under attack by the Taliban today. The U.S. military releasing the names of 6 soldiers killed Monday in a suicide attack in Afghanistan. New York City police already has identified 1 soldier as one of their detectives, 15-year police veteran Joseph Lem. 3 other soldiers, 31-year-old Staff Sergeant Luis Bonacasa of Coram, Long Island, 28-year-old Michael Cinco of Mercedes, Texas, and 30-year-old Staff Sergeant Peter Taub of Philadelphia have officially been identified. Mall of America in Minneapolis could be a place of protest today when hundreds of demonstrators turn out. They'll be at the nation's largest mall to draw attention to last month's police shooting there of Jamar Clark. Greek authorities say 7 children are among 13 drowned when a small plastic boat carrying them from Turkey to Europe sank off an eastern Greek island. Overwhelming snow in parts of the west. Spring-like weather in the northeast. Welcome to Christmas week, impacted by El Nino, the warming of the surface water in the Pacific near the equator. A protest in March planned for Christmas Eve on the Mag Mile here in Chicago. The action, another plan to force Mayor Rahm Emanuel to resign, led by Gregory Livingston of the Coalition for a New Chicago.
We do want to stop people, if it be at all possible, from going in these stores. Why? Because it's better to bleed green than to bleed red.
Demonstrators upset with the city's handling of the Laquan McDonald case. A Chicago man accused of sexually assaulting and robbing a woman at a CTA Red Line station, now behind bars, Milton Anderson, charged with armed robbery and criminal sexual assault. 3 suburban teens accused of busting into a St. Charles Parks facility and trashing it to the tune of $32,000 in damages face charges. William Dunleavy, Kyle Wandell, and Nicholas Zamenik are charged with burglary and criminal damage to government property after they broke into the Otter Cove water park and concession building. Chicago sports. College hoops, Northern Illinois, a win over Roosevelt, 85-52. DePaul with a top 20 upset over George Washington. Nice win for the Demons, 82-61. NHL, Stars over the Blackhawks, 4-0. The news, a service of Let Us Entertain You. Give the gift that fits all appetites, a Let Us Entertain You gift card. Receive a free $25 holiday bonus for every $100 in Lettuce gift cards you buy. Simply visit a Lettuce restaurant or LEYE.com. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
When all is said and done and the Obama administration rides off into the sunset, what one overwhelming theme will be the lasting impression? Here's one: asleep at the switch. While ISIS was making a rampage across the Middle East, we did nothing. While a Syrian dictator was killing 300,000 of his own people, we did nothing. When thousands of those same refugees came pouring across the border, we did nothing. Unfortunately, we were and still are asleep at the switch. So keep it here to learn what we can do about that. AM 560. The Answer.
The Chicago Wolves have 3 home games over the holiday break. Be there Saturday at 7 as they face Iowa on calendar night, courtesy of Domino's. For information, visit ChicagoWolves.com.
Over the last few months, the stock market has been nothing short of a roller coaster ride. Is there another big correction on the horizon? Are you prepared? Or are you at the mercy of stockbrokers if it does happen? Let Online Trading Academy teach you how to navigate the stock market during these changing times. They offer professional trading and investing education for every skill level. They'll teach you a rules-based strategy, trading on knowledge, not speculations, so you can identify market changes before they happen. Online Trading Academy has a state-of-the-art educational facility centrally located in Lombard. Call today, 877-OTA-CHIC. That's 877-682-2442 to attend a free half-day course. Call now and mention you heard this message on AM 560 The Answer, and they'll send you home with a free home video study course valued at $247 just for attending. This is a great opportunity to learn from the pros. Reservations are limited, so call now, 877-682-2442 or online at tradingacademy.com/Chicago.
6:36. Let's get an update on the roads in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. And in for Jim, here's Dominic.
Brake lights popping on the inbound side of the Kennedy from Harlem into Lawrence. Inbound side of the Eisenhower a bit slow. Manheim to Harlem, 35 minutes. Thorndale into the post office. Outbound side at 31 minutes. Inbound Stevenson hits the brakes. Pulaski to Kedzie, looking at 36 minutes from 355 into Lakeshore Drive. Still have a crash. It's off on the right shoulder of the exit ramp. Southbound 55 at Weber Road. Traffic's a service of Chicago Blue Cart Recycling. Did you know that using a plastic bag to throw items into your blue cart can ruin your recycling efforts? Lose the bag and keep the recycling. By throwing only recyclable materials into blue carts, you help prevent contamination and protect the environment. For more information, visit chicagorecycles.org. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Windy, rainy, maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon. High 61. Fog and 44. Next news at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy. Bruce Wolf sitting in with us this morning on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Autumn Leaves Memory Care Communities. Now open in Glen Ellen. Take a virtual tour at autumnleaves.com.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues now. And make sure to stay tuned to catch me, Mike Gallagher, coming up at 9, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back to Chicago's Morning Answer. Amy Jacobson here. Bruce Wolf filling in for Dan Propp.
No, you think I'm fat because I ate those Ann Sather donuts
you know
or
what?
cinnamon rolls.
Tom Tunney, Alderman Tom Tunney, his staff brought over freshly baked cinnamon rolls from Ann Sather to my home at 3:30 this morning. Not kidding you. And we brought them into the station, and Bruce Wolf heated a few up and then downed 2 of them. And I've noticed your energy level has just...
Right. The sugar rush.
I mean, you're a different
peaked.
man. I don't know if I like you more or love you less. I'm trying to figure that out.
I need to perk up myself. Like the economy is perking up right now, and it's justifying a rate increase.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with that, we welcome Steve Esposito to the program. He is the Senior Vice President and Wealth Advisor for Morgan Stanley in the one and only place, Lake Forest. Good morning, Steve. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
So Janet Yellen, 2 weeks ago, decided to raise the interest rates for the first time since, 2007 or 2008?
I think 2007.
So what does it actually mean when the Federal Reserve raises interest rates?
Well, as you said, it's an historic move in the sense that it's been so long since they've raised rates. But the Federal Reserve is signaling that the economy is finally gaining enough traction that they're comfortable moving rates higher. Again, measured. A quarter point's not that big of a move, but it's sending a signal that they're comfortable with the economy's growth at this point. But going forward, of course, the interest rates increases will be measured. It'll be all data dependent. So it's a good sign. It's a good sign the economy starting to move ahead at a level they're comfortable with.
Should I get my money out of the stock market now?
Hey-o.
Oh, no. No.
Okay.
Actually, it's a good sign. They're telling us that they're comfortable with the job growth. The direction of the economy is obviously, in their mind, the best it's been in years. So it's a good sign. I wouldn't rush out to get out of the market. If anything, I think it's a positive for the market going forward. Just right now, the market is mired in uncertainty going forward, and that's creating more volatility than what the Federal Reserve has done.
Actually, I mean, the Ann Sather analogy wasn't altogether not apt. It's a double negative or whatever, because the economy's had this sugar rush from the Fed with the expansion of the money supply, and now you're raising the interest rates. And the economy is really not that good, though, is it? I mean, we've got a 2% growth. I mean, a lot of people aren't feeling it.
No, I absolutely agree with you. This is probably one of the most muted economic recoveries in history. The combination of high rates and increased regulation is really miring down the economy. But at this point, the Federal Reserve feels comfortable that we can raise rates and send a signal, I think, to the world that the economy is out of the doldrums, but it's not moving ahead. So it's kind of like we're stuck in the mud here.
So
we're starting to gain a little bit of traction.
Yeah, but with increased interest rates, that means it's going to be more expensive to get a mortgage, to get a car loan. But what about our savings accounts? Will the interest rates rise there?
Exactly. Well, it's going to basically happen. This is good for savers, but it's not necessarily great for people who borrow money. Remember, a quarter point's not really going to make that much of an impact on anybody, whether it be your savings or your cost of funds.
It's more a signal of the Federal Reserve's confidence the economy is able to move forward. And, of course, going forward, it's all data dependent. So if the economy continues to gain a little bit of steam, they'll raise rates accordingly. So they may not raise at all. They may raise several times this year.
But why would the Federal Reserve choose to raise interest rates in small increments over time as opposed to one large interest rate hike?
You don't really want to have a shock to the system. You want to take it slow and say that we're comfortable, but we're not overly confident the economy is going to recover. It gives them some room going forward to take their time and decide what they're going to do as the data comes in. So I think it's better. A big increase may have had more of a shock to the system and raised a lot of fears in the economy.
All right, so we're going to have a recession next year, right?
Bruce.
I don't know about
well,
that.
Aren't we due for it? I mean, even though we're in the mud, I mean, just the normal business cycle? What do you think?
You need 2 quarters of negative economic growth going forward. And right now we're looking at 2.5% growth. So you got to get pretty bad for the economy to head into a recession going forward. So that's, and low oil prices are helping the economy. There are some positives in the economy with the low commodity prices and energy prices, but those industries aren't doing as well because of the low oil prices. So again, it's mixed. The uncertainty that we're discussing here is what's causing the financial markets to be as volatile they are right now. So we got to just watch. We have to watch and wait, but it's nowhere near what it was in terms of during the credit crisis or some of the times in the past in 2011, et cetera. So it is getting better. It's just not getting better as quickly as we'd like it to happen.
That voice belongs to Stephen Esposito, Senior Vice President and Wealth Advisor for Morgan Stanley in Lake Forest. Stephen, all of us have credit cards. They're preferred by many of us Americans, and during the holiday season, we're using a lot of our credit cards. So what's the effect of the raised rate on those of us who use our credit cards?
Well, it's minor. Again, a quarter point. If you look at some of the interest rates in some of these credit cards at pretty high rates, 15, 20%, a quarter point's not going to make a difference. And if you're in one of those promotional periods where you've got a locked-in rate, you're fine until the promotional period ends. So it's not going to have that much of an impact one way or another. It really isn't.
Okay. Any other advice you have for us?
Yeah, I would say in this environment, look for bargains in the financial markets going forward. The rise in interest rates is good if you're a saver, as I said, but as the economy sifts through the uncertainty, and it's an election years are typically pretty good for the market. If you're a long-term investor looking out 3 to 5 years, you should look through the financial markets for opportunities because they exist. There are winners and losers of any economic recovery or downturn, and you want to look for some opportunities going forward. But don't view this rate as increase as a bad thing per se. View it as a signal maybe we're getting a little bit better here, and we got some I would say smooth sailing, so a nice road ahead of us. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Stephen Esposito. Appreciate you taking time to join us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Stephen Esposito, Senior Vice President, Wealth Advisor for Morgan Stanley in Lake Forest, and he joined us on our Turnkey.Pro answer line.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
No snow, but some nasty stuff heading our way.
Yeah, today it's going to be windy, rain, and a thunderstorm.
That's rare for late December.
I remember,
and I heard possibly a tornado. So
I remember being at a Bears game. When it was like 65 degrees in December.
Oh,
so so it's happened, but it's a rarity.
Last year it happened was 1982.
Maybe that was the game.
I'm a weather geek. I'm sorry. Go on.
Maybe that's.
I'm interrupting you now. It's great. How does it feel, Bruce?
A thunderstorm in the PM today. Storms can bring damaging winds, a high of 61. Tonight, winds gusting past 45 miles an hour. Showers early this evening, cloudy, low of 37. On Christmas Day, clouds and breaks of sun, high of 43, low Friday night of 38. Let's take a check of the traffic with Dominic Fortini.
West end of the Kennedy, a minor delay. Canfield into Lawrence. Not much of a time changer, though. 22 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 20 on the outbound trip. Inbound Ike slows. 17th into Harlem. 32 minutes Thorndale into the post office with outbound delays beginning near Austin. Stevenson taps the brakes. Pulaski to Kedzie, while the inbound Ryan 20 minutes, 95th into downtown. Northbound side of the tri-state, you've got a full westbound 290 exit ramp, as well as some tie-ups between 88 and 290. No surprise there. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560. The Answer.
Nasty, real nasty.
Time now for the Lou Dobbs Market Preview, brought to you by the Mutual Fund Store.
I'm Val Diorin for Lou Dobbs. Corporate developments and economic reports in focus on Wall Street. Investors trying to extend what looks to be an early Santa Claus rally. Those stories next.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a select quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-431-0848. That's 1-800-431-0848. 1-800-431-0848. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop. You save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price can vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors not available in all states.
We'll see if Wall Street investors can push stocks higher on this, the final full trading session ahead of the Christmas holiday. The Dow Jones Industrials coming off back-to-back triple-digit gains with the NASDAQ back above 5,000. Investors today reacting to corporate developments and economic reports. Micron Technology and Nike each topped earnings targets but came up short on revenue. Nike stock higher and extended trading after reporting a 15% jump in future orders compared to a year ago. Investors also analyzing reports on durable goods orders, personal income and spending, new home sales, and consumer confidence. And we'll see how the crude market reacts to the Energy Department's report on crude oil inventories. The February crude contract begins the day near $36 a barrel. Please tune in to Lou Dobbs tonight at 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. I'm Val Dior for the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
My brother Chris is allergic to talking about retirement. Bring up his future and you'll get glazed eyes and awkward answers. Don't believe me? Let's try it. Chris, when will you retire?
Ha! You darn right I like nachos.
See what I mean? Chris, do you have a retirement account?
It's gotta be the right kind of cheese.
One last time. Are you ever going to retire?
And don't forget jalapenos. I love jalapenos.
Good for you, buddy.
Avoiding the retirement conversation? At the Mutual Fund Store, we get it, and our advisors are here to help. Whether you're storing 401k statements in a shoebox, can't tell a traditional from a Roth IRA, or include piggy bank as one of your retirement accounts, there are no judgments here. We'll simply sit down with you one-on-one, talk about where you're at, and help you put a plan in place to get you where you want to be tomorrow. Let's get the conversation started today with a free consultation.
Hi, I'm Steve Check with the Mutual Fund Store in Chicagoland. Call me at 888-498-3636 or visit mutualfundstore.com and let's talk about your financial goals today.
Hi, take a quick look in the mirror. See those bags under your eyes? Well, imagine them gone. This is the last week for the Chamonix holiday sale, so now is the time to get rid of those bags and puffiness under your eyes safely and naturally. Introducing Genucell plant stem cell therapy. They take the plant stem cell from a Swiss apple, and it helps reduce bags and puffiness under your eyes. My sister uses it. She looks terrific. Her skin is glowing. Bags are gone. Firm skin. She's hot. And if you use that paired up with its instant effects, you'll see results in the first 12 hours guaranteed or your money back. But don't wait. This crazy sale ends this week. So order now, and you'll also get the legendary Esotique face cream as a free gift. Call 800-525-8323. That's 800-525-8323. Call now, and express holiday shipping is also free. 800-525-8323.
I think America is dying.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Everybody came here to be free. Everybody came here to strike it out on their own. Everybody wanted government to stay out of their hair. Everybody wanted to be free. Not today. We have way too many people in America who no longer want that America.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer. AM 560. The Answer.
Oh, you know what we're missing? I'm not feeling the Christmas spirit this year. Are you? Oh, wait.
Yeah, no, I feel it all the time.
No,
I need a little Christmas right this very minute.
For we need a little Christmas now. Oh, later on in the show, you're not going to want to miss this. Bruce and I have been practicing our duet, Silver Bells. Mm-hmm. And I have to say, it's pretty good. I did not know, sir, that you could harmonize.
I can harmonize because I sing the melody. You're the one who's harmonizing.
Well, let's give him a little tease.
All right.
All right, ready? Do we have time for this? Oh, yeah, sure we do. Yeah.
City sidewalks, busy sidewalks. What are you leaving me out on a limb here?
Go.
Dressed in holiday style, In the air there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile, till the protesters hit you over the head. Oh, silver bells,
silver bells,
silver bells,
silver bells.
It's Christmas time in the city.
Ring-a-ling,
ring-a-ling-a-tinga-winga-zing.
Hear them ring,
hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Hot dog.
Well, you didn't.
Oh. What did I do wrong?
I'm directing over here. We ever inquire?
What are you, like the guy from Whiplash? Or are you going to just beat me to a pulp now?
I have been in various choirs for 2 years in junior high, 4 years in high school, 4 years in college, and then I was in show choir at University of Iowa. So you do the math: 2, 4, 4, and 4.
Well,
How many years have I been in choir?
I've never been in choir, but I am a sports castrato.
What does that mean?
Like Mark Giangreco on TV, I never said anything that took any cojones. Okay, there we go. All right. So where were we in the protest?
I thought you were going to do a bit.
Oh, what
no,
what
we're
was the
talking about
the lie of the year?
The lie of the year, because many people throw out the L word.
I thought she was lying so much.
She's lying. She's absolutely lying.
I think you have a pathological liar there.
So there is actually a fact-checking website, PolitiFact. Are you familiar with them?
Sure, they're a lefty website that they lie themselves. But go ahead.
Okay, so every year they pick the biggest lie of the year, but this time they couldn't select just one statement for lie of the year. Instead, they granted the entire honor to Donald Trump for his many, many falsehoods, they claim.
But here's the thing about Donald Trump. Nobody believes what he's saying at first blush anyway. It's so it doesn't really count. You got to discount it.
Okay, among the many false statements that PolitiFact said contributed to their decision, that thousands of Muslims celebrated the 9/11 attacks in New Jersey. Did that happen, Bruce? To the best of your knowledge.
I don't recall it happening.
That the Mexican government sends the bad ones over the border.
I don't know about that.
That 81%.
By the way, I like Trump.
That 81% of white murder victims are killed by blacks.
No, of course not.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, David Stripling. That he never said.
By the way, Steve Harvey does not know what that stands for on Family Feud.
Oh, we'll get to him later. That he never said the cruel things about women that Megyn Kelly claimed he had.
Well, he said them, but he didn't mean them.
But he did say them. He did say Rosie O'Donnell's didn't call her fat.
Well, he said he told the truth about her. Okay.
Oh, but please. I mean,
in my opinion, she was off base.
Yes, off base. So Donald Trump also won the Reader's Poll for Lie of the Year for his statement about the New Jersey Muslims. Ironically, the Lie of the Year was announced the day after Trump received the first ever true rating from the organization after he accurately said that Vladimir Putin has an 80% approval rating in Russia. That was true. That is something that he said.
When did Obama talk about the JV team? When did he promise us that if we wanted our insurance, we could keep it? He's a pathological liar.
So you think Obama should be on top of the list?
He's the all-time king.
Yeah.
Say, Laura, you think I ought to sing something?
I don't know, darling. They've already seen you dance.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
A research institute is seeking a geophysicist with internal title Principal Engineer to expand the industry's knowledge of the growth and propagation of hydraulic fractures and flow behavior in fractured shale, advance understanding and optimization of gas extraction from shale, and analyze passive seismic data and seismic modeling software as well as the Petrol platform. Candidates must possess a master's degree in petroleum engineering plus 2 years experience in analysis of passive seismic data and seismic modeling software and the Petrol platform. A PhD degree in petroleum engineering with no experience is acceptable in lieu of the experience requirement, and permanent U.S. work authorization. Please send cover letter and resume to Jeremy Odehall, Director, Human Resources at Institute of Gas Technology, 1700 South Mount Prospect Road, Des Plaines, Illinois, 60018. Once again, cover letter and resume to Jeremy Odehall, Director, Human Resources at Institute of Gas Technology, 1700 South Mount Prospect Road, Des Plaines, Illinois, 60018.
Hey, the weather in Chicago is only going to get worse. with the winter months approaching. But do you know where it's always going to be warm and sunny for the next 5 months? Los Cabos, Mexico. That's where we're headed, April 2nd through April 9th. We'll be staying at the gorgeous Secrets Puerto Los Cabos Golf and Spa Resort. It's an all-inclusive, adults-only. All suites have ocean views. All suites, the All Suites Resort, I should say, opened in December of 2013. They have a gorgeous spa. I had a tour of the spa. Ladies, you'll love it. And also, ladies, if you like to golf, this is the place to golf. There's 2 9-hole courses on the property, so you don't have to drive anywhere. Simply walk out of the resort.
Because I like to tee off from the ladies' tees.
To join us on our trip, go to 560theanswer.com. Keyword escape. This trip will sell out. It's a great Christmas gift. 560theanswer.com. Keyword escape.
This holiday season, one of the best presents you can give is the gift of knowledge with a College Illinois 529 plan for your child or grandchild. Here's Eric Zarnikow, Executive Director of the Illinois Student Assistance Commission, to explain the benefits.
It's difficult to predict what's going to happen in the future, and that's one of the great things about a plan like College Illinois. And you're able to buy a future tuition today, and it's a 529 plan, so it brings some great tax advantages. And basically what you're able to do is buy future semesters of college at either community college plan, a university plan, which covers all the public universities. With the College Illinois plan, you have to have a beneficiary. The plan can actually be purchased by virtually anybody. The requirement is that either the purchaser or the beneficiary is a resident in Illinois. But we sell about 15 to 20% of our contracts to grandparents. I think it's incredibly important. What's greater than the future of your child or your grandchild and an opportunity for them to get an education? So one of the great things about College Illinois is you know what it's going to cost. You can lock that in today. And I talk with people all the time. I think it's important to start young. I've talked with contract holders when they had a newborn. They figured out what they could afford on their budget, and they bought 1 or 2 or a few semesters. And by the time their child was going to kindergarten, they already had part of college paid for. So a 529 plan really refers to a tax code section, and it basically means that the plans have certain tax benefits. So from a federal and state income tax perspective, basically the growth in the value of the plan is not taxed. In addition, in Illinois, there's an additional incentive in that you're able to get a state tax deduction, up to $10,000 per year for an individual or $20,000 per year if you're filing jointly.
Find out more about plan options for your family. Call 1-877-877-3724. That's 1-877-877-3724. Or visit collegeillinois.org.
Here are the stories we're watching for you at 6:59. A large Michigan Avenue protest set for Christmas Eve. Patrick Sharp leads the Stars by the Blackhawks. WIND Chicago news time is 7 o'clock.
Fox News Radio, I'm Dave Anthony. Hillary Clinton not only isn't apologizing to Donald Trump like he demands for calling him ISIS's best recruiter, the Democratic frontrunner says what Trump's saying about Muslims is
not only dangerous, it's shameful.
But Trump has a big lead in the latest Republican presidential poll. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Trump's at 39% in a new national CNN ORC survey. Ted Cruz a distant second with 18%. Republican rival Jeb Bush, who has 3% support, told Fox and Friends Trump is a great politician, but he's not a leader.
He has said continually to say things that's going to make it harder for the party's nominee, whoever that's going to be, to win.
Ben Carson and Marco Rubio both slipped a few points, tied in third place with 10% support each. This is Fox Business released new criteria that could reduce the number of candidates in the next primetime Republican debate next month to 6. Dave.
Rachel, 2 days before Christmas, it's hardly a winter wonderland in the Northeast.
It's not freezing cold. My face doesn't feel like it's going to fall off.
She's in New York, where it'll be like 70 in Christmas Eve. Dozens of cities could hit record highs east of the Mississippi, but it's wintry in parts of the West. Storm warnings in 8 states from Washington to New Mexico. Charged with murder, hit and run, and child abuse. The woman accused of driving off the Las Vegas Strip onto the sidewalk Sunday night makes her first court appearance today. 1 person was killed, dozens injured. Fewer American babies have teenage mothers. In new data out from 2014.
Births to moms between the ages of 15 and 19 were down 9% from 2013. The average age of a birth mom rose to older than 26. The rate of twin births rose slightly from the year before, 3.4 to 3.4%. That's the highest it's ever been.
Fox's Evan Brown. The numbers also show fewer C-sections. Autopsy results may come out today in the death of a Florida woman near Tallahassee who collapsed Monday as police led her away from a hospital in handcuffs, removing Barbara Dawson, who refused to leave after doctors discharged her, complaining of breathing troubles. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Cloudy skies, some heavy fog in the area. 43 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. A protest in March is planned for Christmas Eve on the Mag Mile. Another action in an effort to force Mayor Rahm Emanuel to resign. Gregory Livingston is with the Coalition for a New Chicago.
We do want to stop people, if it be at all possible, from going in these stores. Why? Because it's better to bleed green than to bleed red.
Demonstrators are upset with the city's handling of the Laquan McDonald case. Meantime, city attorneys are taking legal action against the mother of Ronald Johnson. Court filing accuses Dorothy Holmes of threatening a police officer who killed her son. Documents are asking a judge to sanction her over comments made at a recent protest. A professor at Wheaton College placed on leave after wearing a Muslim headscarf and saying Christians and Muslims worship the same God, says she will try and fight to keep her job. Lauricia Hawkins teaches political science. Cook County judge says a new Illinois law that slashes the size of civil case juries from 12 to 6 is unconstitutional. Chicago Daily Law Bulletin reporting the judge in the case ruled that the Illinois Constitution provides for 12-person juries and may not be altered by statute. A plaintiff's attorney says he plans an appeal of that ruling. Cook County Sheriff Tom Dart wants the feds to investigate the Harvey Police Department. Dart's sending a letter to the Department of Justice requesting the probe, claiming the South Suburb has a number of issues, including excessive force and unsolved homicide. Chicago sports last night, Northern Illinois, a winner over Roosevelt 85-52, and a top 25 upset for the DePaul Blue Demons over GW 82-61. Last night in the NHL, Dallas over the Blackhawks 4-0, and a win for Stars forward and former Blackhawk Patrick Sharp.
Hockey's a game. You play your best when you play with intensity and you play angry almost, and it's kind of tough when you got your buddies on the other side. Lots of emotion, but I think our team played really well. That's one of our better efforts all season long from the goaltender on out.
College football right here on AM 560 as our Northern Illinois Huskies tackle Boise State in San Diego at the Poinsettia Bowl. The news service of Let Us Entertain You. Give the gift that fits all appetites, a Let Us Entertain You gift card. Receive a free $25 holiday bonus for every $100 in lettuce gift cards you buy. Simply visit a lettuce restaurant or LEYE.com. 7:04, check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Hey, Chicagoland, Dave Ramsey here. For the last 20-plus years, we've helped millions of people get their financial lives in order. And now, for the first time ever, we're bringing our Smart Money Tour to you. Financial expert Chris Hogan and I will be at Willow Creek Church on January 12th. If you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck or wondering what you're going to do when retirement comes around, don't miss this event. Get your seats today at DaveRamsey.com.
Sponsored in part by Executive Green Carpet Cleaning.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. See website for details.
Need some extra cash today? Do you have bad credit or maxed out credit cards? If so, turn your radio up. 67cash.com is one of the nation's largest personal loan networks with over 50 different lenders. Now you can get a personal loan for up to $5,000 with no traditional credit check, discreetly from your computer or smartphone, and with no paperwork to send in. That's right, no paperwork whatsoever. Your cash will hit your bank account as soon as tomorrow, and with millions of dollars to lend, our lenders will not perform a traditional credit check. Visit 67cash.com and you can have up to $5,000 in no time. Just have a checking account and a regular source of income, and you can get the loan you need now, regardless of your credit. Go to 67cash.com from your smartphone or computer to get the cash you need. Visit 67cash.com. Type www.67cash.com directly into the address bar. That's 67cash.com. 67cash.com.
7:06 in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. In for Jim Telemonte, here's Dominic Fortini.
Eaton's looking pretty clean. Inbound Kennedy tied up between Canfield and Lawrence, 22 minutes. O'Hare into downtown, only 20 on the reverse trip. Inbound Eisenhower struggles along at 17th into Harlem. 32 minutes from Thorndale into the post office with delays on the inbound Stevenson, reaching from Cicero into Kedzie. 38 minutes from 355 into Lakeshore Drive. The outbound side of the Stevenson hits the brakes Kedzie to Cicero. 36 minutes from the drive to 355. And inbound Ryan struggles along as you approach the Stevenson. 20 minutes, 95th into downtown. Northbound Tri-State, just some tie-ups between 88 and 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, a shower this morning, cloudy and windy throughout the day, with periods of rain and a thunderstorm for the afternoon. Storms can bring damaging winds. High today of 60. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently, we have fog in 45 and delays into LaGuardia, JFK, and Philadelphia for your Christmas travel. Beware if you're flying. Next news, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next with Bruce Wolf sitting in with us this morning on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by HealthQuest Radio with Dr. David Kolbaba. HealthQuest Radio is heard Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning. Welcome to your Wednesday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
Vorderbruggen and 5 other U.S. airmen were meeting Afghan leaders near Bagram Air Base when a suicide bomber on motorcycle drove into the group and detonated his bomb, killing all 6 Americans.
If there is a limit to how far Donald Trump will go with his crude insults and schoolyard-like taunting, we're still waiting to see it.
She was going to beat, she was favored to win, and she got schlonged. She lost. She lost.
You're offended. The average American is not.
We're going to take a live look at Michigan Avenue this afternoon, where a very large march and protest planned for Christmas Eve. Several organizations are putting the event together, urging people to shop off the Mag Mile. They're saying that they're trying to get Mayor Rahm Emanuel's attention, and ultimately they want to get him to resign.
We do want to stop people, if it be at all possible, from going in these stores. Why? Because it's better to bleed green than to bleed red.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Chicago's Morning Answer. I'm Amy Jacobson. In for Dan Proft is the one and only Bruce Wolf.
Hi.
Thanks, Bruce, for coming in.
My name is very hard to pronounce. Had I been a girl, my mother was going to name me Beth. Try saying Beth Wolf. Beth Wolf.
Well, Bruce is here, and who is here on American soil is Bo Bergdahl. You know, it was our first real glimpse of him on American soil. He was in a courtroom yesterday, dressed in his army blues, clean shaven. He didn't look gaunt or disorientated like he did after he was exchanged for those 5 top Taliban leaders. And he entered, he didn't enter a plea. He just decided not to enter a plea. And the only time we've heard from him is when he opened up on the Serial podcast about how they broke him down while he was in solitary confinement.
I couldn't see my hands. I couldn't do anything. The only thing I could do was, touch my face. And even that wasn't, registering right.
And as he tried to save his life, Bruce, what he told the Taliban about why he had gone AWOL.
I told him I basically was fed up with the commanders.
So he was fed up with the commanders. That's why he walked out of the platoon, left his fellow soldiers behind, deserted them, and 6 American soldiers, 6, died trying to find him. And with that, we welcome to the program a returning guest, Colonel Lee Ellis, former prisoner of war, author of Leading with Honor, Leadership Lessons from the Hanoi Hilton. Good morning, Colonel Ellis. How are you?
Good morning, Amy.
So were you surprised that Bergdahl deferred entering a plea yesterday?
Well, I don't know the legal issues enough to understand completely, but I know he's got a good lawyer, and evidently he thought that was in his best interest to do.
So where does it go from here? If you go into the courtroom for your arraignment and don't enter a plea, you must be going back to court soon, right?
Yes, he's going to go back to court. I don't know how soon, hopefully fairly soon. But there's a choice there. He could be tried by a judge or by a jury of his peers, which would include 1/3 enlisted, and the others could be officers. Or so he could go either way there. He could be tried by the judge only, and then could have a jury for the sentencing portion. So he's got a couple of options coming up. It's interesting how this has played out. You know, originally he was apparently headed toward the summary court-martial. Now he's going for the general. So this is more serious, and it's what I think most of us had hoped would happen.
Colonel Ellis, yeah, you just made the point I was going to bring up, which was it is a general court-martial. It looked like it was going to be a relatively light punishment. Now he's facing possible life in prison, and they've got this podcast going in order to elicit sympathy. And you think of President Obama with his parents in the Rose Garden, and they thought this was going to be some great thing, and now it's really egg on the face of the administration, and they are trying to, cover themselves right now. But from your experience, I mean, you spent time in the Hanoi Hilton. And I know you can't judge because you want to wait for all the facts to come out. But, I mean, the guy left his post and, what does this do to the morale of the military if a guy who, assuming he deserted, gets away with this, which is what the administration wants?
Well, the most important thing is accountability, because without accountability, things descend into chaos. If you can do something that's wrong and get away with it, then it's becomes every man for himself. You can do whatever you want, whatever's right in your own eyes, you can go do it, and law doesn't apply. So I think that's why this has to be pursued vigorously, and due process will show, I think, as it turns out eventually, that he does have some culpability and he should be held accountable. I don't think he'll ever spend life in prison. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but I think we have to make the point here, and it maybe has to spend some time in prison to pay for this violation that he's done. We just have to have good order and discipline in the military. We certainly could use some in civilian society, too. We could use a lot more accountability. In fact, that's the subject of my new book I'm working on right now. Hopefully it'll be out before the election.
And what's the title of the book?
Winning with Honor, Powerful Lessons of Courageous Accountability.
I think Rahm Emanuel should read that. Okay, all right.
So as somebody who served honorably and was a prisoner of war, what was your personal reaction when you heard about Bowe Bergdahl and that 6 Americans died trying to find him? Did you want to bring back the firing squad, which they used to have during World War II?
Times have changed. I don't think we'll do that anymore. I think in wartime, if it was, dire conditions right there and he was recaptured back in hands in the heat of the battle, that might be done, but probably not. We're just a lot more tolerant now than we were back then, and maybe to the point of going too far at times. But he's going to get a fair trial, and we'll see what happens. I'm sure it was hard on the men in his organization, and I think we need to take that into consideration as well as Bergdahl's condition, which he's a little bit questionable as a good soldier and a capable soldier to start with. So those all have to be taken into consideration. But I think the unit and the organization there has to be considered, and as part of that, the fact that 5 or 6 people died trying to save him or find him, that is an important factor, I think.
I think, some people, maybe it's the bleeding heart in me, the other side of me, would look at and say, oh, well, how about time served while he was in captivity?
Well, that's what his lawyer's asking for.
Which almost sounds, like the kid who kills his parents and then begs for the mercy of the court because he's an orphan. But, what do you think of that?
I think that will come to play. I actually do. I think that's the times we live in. And I think he will. He probably did suffer some in that. He did make a mistake in judgment, but he also probably suffered some. So I think that will come into play. So the way I see this playing out, he's probably going to get some time to serve. He's probably going to get a dishonorable discharge, but it won't be anything like life imprisonment. If he stays in jail for 2 to 3 years, I'll be surprised if it's much more than that.
Colonel Lee Ellis joining us, former prisoner of war, author. I wanted to move on to Afghanistan. 1 year after President Obama declared the end of U.S. combat missions there, 6 Americans are killed. And it's so sad we're not hearing the stories of our brave men and women who died during that attack because we're so focused on the schlong word. Donald Trump used that to describe Hillary Clinton being beaten in the 2008 election. How sad is that when the American people, their family members aren't going to have them home for Christmas and are never going to have them home.
Yeah, I think this is a real eye-opener for me and I think many others that war is still going on and it's kind of off our radar. But the reality is that we have soldiers dying over there in this war, and it's just off our radar. We need to be talking about that, and we need to be making some decisions. Either we need to be able to bring this thing to a conclusion and bring our people home one way or the other, I think. And I think most Americans are starting to feel that way.
But President Obama, he reduced the number of troops in Afghanistan, which I think puts smaller groups at risk.
Well, I think that's probably true. We are at probably more risk than we've been in many years there in Afghanistan. And again, we either need to be in and winning or out and doing something else. It appears to more and more of my friends and me, those of us who've been in combat, we want to go in and win or get out.
All right. Thank you so much, Colonel Lee Alice, former prisoner of war, author. Again, what's the name of the new book you're working on? Winning with Honor?
Winning with Honor. That's following Leading with Honor, and now it's Winning with Honor, Powerful Lessons of Courageous Accountability.
All right. Thank you so much, Colonel Ellis, and thank you so much for your service. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Bruce. Good seeing you today.
Thank you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
No snow, but some high-powered winds and nasty weather coming our way.
It's going to be windy, rain, and a thunderstorm in the PM. Storms can bring damaging winds, a high of 61. Tonight, the winds will be gusting past 45 miles an hour. That's a lot. I hope you have
what that means? That means a lot of Christmas decorations are going to fly away.
And some of those light cars on the road, will be flying. Showers early this evening, cloudy, low of 37. On Christmas Day, clouds and breaks of sun, high of 43, low Friday night of 38. Now it's time for the check of traffic with Dominic Fortini.
Thick across the Chicagoland area. In Hanover Park, crews work with a crash near Irving Park in Barrington. Very light traffic volume today. Edens, Kennedy, Eisenhower, all in decent shape. Inbound Stevenson, a minor delay at Cicero. On the outbound side, traffic gets thick right around Kedzie into Cicero. 12 minutes from the drive to Cicero, 36 out to 355. While the inbound Ryan slows from the Stevenson into the Burn Circle, 20 minutes, 95th into downtown. Northbound Tri-State backing up between 88 and 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Dan Proft with an Upstream Idea, brought to you in part by the Illinois Policy Institute. 97. That's the percentage of Chicago Teachers Union members who voted yes in a recent mock vote. Yes, they voted. They are prepared to go out on strike for the second time in 4 years. The annual average CPS teacher salary is just under $80,000. And that's before you include their health insurance benefits and guaranteed seven-figure pension. The bankrupt, junk-rated Chicago public schools spend more than $15,000 annually per pupil, and yet 75% of 4th and 8th graders are neither proficient in reading nor math. This in a system of nearly 400,000 students. So who's the bad guy here? Is it the teachers union or the mayor's office? Yes, there are no white hats in the story of central planners from City Hall fighting with the central planners from the teachers union over who gets to be the lead central planner at CPS. If the teachers strike, they deserve to be unlocked from their jobs. CPS students deserve access to schools that will give them the opportunity to earn an education that sets them on a course for success in life. The only way that happens is if the adults inside CPS, the parents, and the adults outside CPS, state political leaders, change the flow of money away from central planners and to families so that they may make the same choices for their children that Tiny Dancer did for his kids matriculating at the University of Chicago Lab School. For more ideas like this, visit upstream-ideas.com. I'm Dan Proft.
I just took Balance of Nature for the first time. You guys are awesome. God bless you.
I have CIDP. It's helped me with my balance. It's helped clear up my skin condition.
I honestly did notice a difference. That's why I reordered it.
I feel good. I really just feel good. Everything has changed. I just feel so much better.
There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that this product works. It's helped me as far as my overall health. I even recommended it to my mother, and she's been taking it, and she's 89 years old.
Get started early on your New Year's resolution with our best price of the year. Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
The most recent U.S. Supreme Court decision on the Affordable Care Act made one thing certain. We will all have to deal with this ever-changing law until at least 2017. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the last 5 years.
Thanks, Dan. If you have a pre-existing condition, a canceled plan, or your premium increased, now's the time to get covered. 2016 open enrollment begins on November 1st and ends on January 31st. During this 90-day window, you cannot be denied coverage. Depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. The new healthcare law is very complicated and you do need guidance. It costs you nothing to use a broker, so why not tap into my expertise?
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
Your money. Find out how to keep more of it and live debt-free. Tonight on The Dave Ramsey Show, starting at 7 on AM 560. The Answer.
Come on, Bruce, stand up.
I am
Dance.
standing.
You ate 2 of those Ann Sather cinnamon rolls, and you hit the floor. How are you doing? Will you let me know when you arrive for work today? Because your sugar level is
it's like the equivalent of 2 Mai Tais for me.
Oh.
Really?
Well, you don't drink, do you?
Occasionally, I will have a Mai Tai, and because I
Oh,
don't
you're
drink.
such a girly girl. Did you have an
Really?
umbrella with that too?
Yeah, and
after you get your facial and mani-pedi?
You know, I used to work with Dan, and we occasionally have guys coming in to serve us whatever.
Serve you what?
Well, you know,
sounds so special.
somebody who
Tell me,
wanted
Bert,
publicity,
what you
someone who
did.
wanted to be known, and you know, Dan he'd drink his drink and then he'd drink my drink too.
Okay.
Those brown manly drinks.
Yes, yes.
The ice cubes in them.
Dark stuff.
Yeah.
Little tumbler. Let me give a tumbler. Somebody who's not tumbled is Steve Harvey, despite his horrific mistake.
Colombia! I have to apologize.
So a lot of people
The
think
first runner.
Yeah, we know the rest of this.
a lot of people think this was
You're
rigged.
Miss Universe. You're Miss Universe. You're Miss Universe. You're Miss Universe.
A lot of people think this was rigged because he got a multi-year deal out of it, but I think you've got some information that it wasn't rigged.
No, well, he is coming back.
Well, I
That's
know
what
he's
the
coming
producer
back,
said.
but what I'm saying is that this was not fixed.
Well,
There wasn't a WWE.
No. And I'm going to show you right here. I have the card because I printed it for you.
Yes.
Here is the cue card that he received. Second runner-up, USA. First runner-up, Colombia. Big print, Miss Universe 2015 in capital letters. Philippines.
Right.
There it is. All right. So he just messed up, and here's the reason why he messed up.
Yes, tell us.
I have a friend who works at ET.
Wait a minute.
Entertainment
this
television.
This is breaking news. This just in. Nobody else has this.
Because nobody cares, but I care about these
Everybody
beauty
cares about it.
pageants.
What do you think these yutsy morning TV shows are doing right now? They're
Right.
talking about Steve Harvey.
So this is what happened. He went to rehearsals, and so did the contestants, because that's what you do. You rehearse before a big live show. I mean, it's a pretty
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah.
A lot of money involved. He went to the first hour of rehearsal and then blew off the rest of rehearsal because he's Steve Harvey. I mean,
exactly.
You know, it's the male ego that you have to deal with talent.
It's like Sinatra, one
yeah,
take.
like you, Dan Pry. Everyone's got an
Yeah.
ego. So he thought, you know what? I've got this. I host Family Feud. This, you know, this is just nothing. This is par for the course for me. And he didn't go to the second half of rehearsal where they gave him the cue card so he could practice reading the cue card. So he brought it upon himself. I don't think this was a stunt. This was an honest mistake. And I can tell you one thing. When he hosts the Miss Universe 2016 pageant, it won't happen again. All right, moving right along.
That's,
we have
that's
many.
a big story.
That is not.
Let's put this on a podcast. Let's send it out on Twitter, various social media, MySpace. Is there
What's
still
a
MySpace?
bigger story? Yeah. What's a bigger story is GQ Magazine's Worst People of 2015. And I, of course, you know, this is all political people that are on the list. The number one worst person of 2015, Kim Davis. I don't agree with that.
People don't even remember who that was.
Oh, we all know who Kim Davis
Well,
was.
we do because she's probably celebrated by our listeners.
Yeah, she's
including
the
me.
county clerk who refused to
Right.
issue same-sex marriage licenses.
Right.
Hillary Clinton's number 5. That's strange. Bill Cosby, number 7. Agree. Jared Fogle, number 8. He should be number 1. Sicko person. Jeb Bush is on here. And they describe him. Say hello to the biggest chump and a whole family of chumps. No, that's disrespectful. Scott Walker is on this list. He's number 13. The 2016 version of the Tim Pawlenty, a charmless Midwestern governor who was only initially viable as a presidential candidate because most people hadn't heard him speak yet. Oh, that's rude.
Well, it was a crowded field. I like Scott Walker.
The Confederate flag is number 18. Roger Ailes is number 19.
Confederate flag.
Oh, Hulk Hogan is number 22. Kicked out of the WWE for being racist. But the reason why we're really talking about this is because if you go down your list, oh, looky here. Look who's number 26. Why, it's Mayor Rahm Emanuel. And here's the description. While I think we're all shocked that a bloodless, profane political operative turned mayor would permit the suppression of a video depicting a horrific police shooting during the exact period when he was desperately trying to get reelected. Just shocking, I tell you. Rahm is one of those sociopathic career politicians who probably has a secret room filled with carved figurines of all of his rivals, and he spends all night moving them around on a marble chessboard and crackling manically to himself while blank blank burns outside.
Yeah, but you know what the problem is? You're going to respect me. The guy who wrote this is probably the typical liberal who would put Rahm Emanuel in office. So, I mean, these liberal
Bruce,
hypocrites.
You go, Bruce. Yeah. Liberals. Obama. Rahm.
Or how many Ann Sather donuts did you have today?
I didn't have any because I like to show up for work, unlike you.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Sam Gilberto, president of American Embroidery and Screen Printing and American Marketing Products. We specialize in putting your logo on just about anything. Our focus is entirely on you, our customer. We want every customer experience to be outstanding. American Embroidery and Screen Printing is a brick and mortar business located in Glendale Heights. Our equipment and manufacturing processes are state of the art, so are the people who work here. With over 40 years experience, we have the capability, capacity, and know-how to get your job done right and on time. I want to earn your business, so for a limited time, we're offering free artwork on embroidery and screen printing orders for all new customers. Let us help you gear up for that big trade show, provide shirts or jackets for all your employees, students, or church members, or simply provide you with giveaway items such as coffee mugs, pens, or hats. Whatever it is, you can trust an American to take care of it. It's easy to contact us. TrustInAmerican.com. That's TrustInAmerican.com, or call at 630-766-2825.
Well, hello again, everybody. It's hard to believe that the holidays are just around the corner. And if you're like me, you've already started to decorate for the season. Before you start trimming the tree, I want you to call Executive Green Carpet Cleaning at... Am I doing the wrong spot here?
Bruce, it's My Pillow.
All right.
I do
Page
executive
2.
green carpet cleaning. You do My Pillow.
Okay, what page?
Because your wife is fighting over your pillow, isn't she?
Yeah.
You know what? I could do this. My Pillow, American made.
Sure.
It's the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation. It's perfect right now because you can buy one, keep one for yourself, and give one as a gift.
There's a 60-day money-back guarantee.
Because
Amy.
we still have the buy one, get one free offer, which I have to tell you is not going to last forever. So do it now. You can order it today, and it'll be here in time for Christmas.
You know, it helps with snoring, headaches, back pain, neck pain, insomnia, allergies, and more. It's washable, keeps its shape, and gives you support where you need it most. That's why it's the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation.
Said that.
For the My Pillow buy one. It bears repeating. I said it once for each side of the pillow, okay? Oh, man. Now, for this buy one, get one free offer, it's a 60-day money-back guarantee. Yeah, I know you said it. And visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. Please use the promo code AMY. Do it now. This offer's for a limited time. 800-489-0201 or online at MyPillow.com. Promo code AMY, 800-489-0201.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, our good friend Stephen Moore will be here. And what's in a name? He said, she said, things are getting ugly between Trump and Clinton. But first, let's go back into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Cloudy and 44 degrees, and we'll finish this newscast with a raging holiday debate on social media this morning. Stick around. Just in time for the holiday travel rush, a change in airport security policy for you this morning means that TSA screeners can now force you to go through body scanners. The Department of Homeland Security says the new policy still allows passengers to request a physical screening instead of standing in front of body scanning machines. A woman accused of slamming her car into a crowd on the Las Vegas Strip is officially charged with murder. Lakeisha Holloway is accused of killing one and injuring dozens of others when she intentionally drove onto a sidewalk on the Strip Sunday night. Donald Trump doubling down on his use of what some are calling a vulgar term meant to describe Hillary Clinton's loss in the 2008 presidential primary. Democrat presidential frontrunner Hillary Clinton continuing, though, her war of words with Donald Trump over the word.
What you're hearing from some of the Republicans, most particularly Mr. Trump, about Muslims is not only dangerous, it's shameful. It is not the kind of language somebody running to be president of the United States should be using.
After that address by Hillary Clinton, Trump took to Twitter to defend using the word he insists isn't vulgar and accused the media of being dishonest. This morning on Fox and Friends, fellow candidate Chris Christie, surging in New Hampshire, had advice for Trump and Clinton.
They need to stop being so self-consumed and start talking about what people really want to hear, which is how we're going to keep the homeland safe and protected.
The next GOP debate could have fewer candidates on stage. Fox Business Network released the criteria for the January 14th debate yesterday, and to qualify, White House hopefuls must be in the top 6 in an average of national polls. A protest in March is planned for Christmas Eve on the Magnificent Mile, led in part by Gregory Livingston of the Coalition for a New Chicago.
We do want to stop people, if it be at all possible, from going in these stores. Why? Because it's better to bleed green than to bleed red.
More protests last night, die-in outside Mayor Emanuel's City Hall office. Authorities are investigating a possible sexual assault of a student at Oak Park and River Forest High School. The incident reportedly happened earlier this month inside the school building. Police say a teen boy is accused of engaging in a sexual act with a teen girl without her consent. Cook County Sheriff Tom Dart wants the feds to investigate the Harvey Police Department. Dart has sent a letter to the Justice Department requesting the probe. And raging on social media this morning, is it a holiday movie or is it not a holiday movie? John McClane fights off Hans Gruber and the guys on the big tower. New polling finds that many don't believe Die Hard is really a holiday classic. Public policy polling actually went out and polled people on it, 1,200 people, asking them if they believe the 1988 action thriller starring Bruce Willis at Christmas can be called a Christmas movie. Public policy polling says 62% of those responding say it does not qualify as a Christmas classic. It is a raging debate on social media this morning. The only real argument for those who believe it's a Christmas movie is that it takes place on Christmas Eve, they say. Chicago sports. Last night in college hoops, Northern Illinois, a winner over Roosevelt. DePaul with a top 25 upset of George Washington. NHL, Dallas over the Blackhawks, 4-0. And right here on AM 560, the Northern Illinois Husky football squad showing off their tans, and they'll take on Boise State in the Poinsettia Bowl in San Diego. The news, a service of the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Someone you know is suffering from Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. They're dealing with excruciating pain and days when they won't be able to get out of bed. Help someone you know and support the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America, ccfa.org. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher isn't so sure the president's strategy in ISIS will work.
Isn't it reasonable that if somebody's on the no-fly list, they shouldn't be allowed to buy a gun? That's the kind of stuff that's going to defeat ISIS, isn't it? Now, that's what I call prioritizing. Holy cow. Lord help us.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
The Chicago Wolves have 3 home games over the holiday break. Be there Saturday at 7 as they face Iowa on calendar night, courtesy of Domino's. For information, visit ChicagoWolves.com.
If you suffer from depression, consider TMS, an incredible new advancement in treating and relieving depression.
I'm Gina, and I suffered with depression for 19 years. And like most people, I tried medications, and I couldn't tolerate the side effects, and they never worked properly for me. TMS was a great thing. It helped me out so much. Now I have the sparkle back in my eyes, and I'm able to feel great about life again. It worked really great for me, and I would absolutely recommend it to anybody suffering with depression.
TMS, or transcranial magnetic stimulation, is a safe, non-invasive, and highly effective treatment for drug-resistant depression. Most insurance companies cover TMS, including Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois and Medicare. Depression can be beaten, and without drugs. To schedule a free consultation, call Theramind at 847-562-5868 or go to tmsmind.com.
7:36 in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. In for Jim, here's Dominic Fortini.
A few struggles eastbound 80 between 80th and Harlem. 2 right lanes are blocked due to crews working on a car fire that's off on the right shoulder. Still plenty of fog across the area. And as far as our expressways are concerned, a lot of them still quiet. It's those suburban roadways where we're seeing a number of accidents like 88th and 171st in Tinley Park. In Woodridge, we've got a crash Route 53 and 75th. And in Carroll Stream, a crash at President and St. Charles Road. Outbound side of the Stevenson, minor delays. Kedzie to Cicero, 36 minutes from the drive to 355. And inbound Ryan, 20 minutes, 95th in a downtown. Traffic's the service of Cabela's. Find your last-minute gifts at Cabela's Christmas sale in Hoffman Estates and Hammond, Indiana. Shop for amazing deals on all your favorite brands or get the gift that always fits, Cabela's gift cards. Don't miss the Cabela's Christmas sale. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the AirComfort.com Weather Center, Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Windy, rainy, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm, high 61. 45-mile-an-hour winds overnight. Prepare for that, low 37. Fog and 45. Next news at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next with Bruce Wolf sitting in on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
Yeah. Nothing says Merry Christmas like that music. It's the eve of Christmas Eve. Amy Jacobson here. Bruce Wolf in for Dan Proft, who's, I guess, on a stand-up comedy tour.
Dan is at Zany's, and when he says value prop,
it's
like when Steve Martin put an arrow through his head. It's a guaranteed laugh line.
Oh, my goodness. But no less.
Don't get me started on first principles.
Okay, we won't. But with that, we welcome to the program our good friend, Stephen Moore from the Heritage Foundation. He's the chief economic guru over there at the Heritage Foundation. Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, my gosh. We're a little loosey-goosey here today.
Yeah, I'm in Chicago today, so I thought you guys said we were going to
stop by.
Yeah, I should have come by. I'm looking out the window, and I don't see, it doesn't look like it's a very white Christmas.
Well, wait, are you joining the protesters on Michigan Avenue to get rid of Rahm Emanuel? Is that what you're going to do?
I'm at the Intercontinental Hotel on Michigan Avenue.
There you go.
That's going to be the heart of it tomorrow. They're having a big protest on Michigan Avenue
really?
Christmas Eve.
Okay, I'm going to have to cover that.
And by the way, Stephen, the Intercontinental Hotel, just so you can dazzle people in the lobby, you can say, that Johnny Weissmuller, the Olympian and who played Tarzan in the movies, swam in a swimming pool at the Intercontinental Hotel years ago.
I'm going to that pool today. So.
All right.
All right. So, Stephen, I want to know if you've heard about this. So, I've been to 3 different hospitals in the last week, and when I was at University of Chicago yesterday, everybody was buzzing around, and I asked the nurse. I said, "What's going on?" She said, "Well, if you bought Blue Cross on the exchange, we no longer service them. Not only University of Chicago, but neither does Rush nor does Northwestern Memorial Hospital. And if you have cancer and you live in Chicago or the surrounding suburbs, that's where you go for help. So all these people are out of luck."
Yeah, so what's happening is a lot of these insurance companies, this happened with United Health as well, they announced that they're going to be dropping people from Obamacare, and this is a huge problem. So you've got all these people who are essentially losing their insurance. They're now essentially going naked without insurance coverage. And Blue Cross and Blue Shield drop out. That's one of the biggest insurance companies in the nation. But by the way, I predicted this was going to happen a number of years ago on this show, right?
I told you
and
so.
on another show that I used to be on, and Dan used to be on. And Steve, isn't the whole thing? It was designed to collapse so that government could just double down, and then we could go to single payer. And what I loved it when Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi wanted to get rid of the Cadillac tax, which of course was supposed to subsidize this whole thing, and then the whole thing comes apart, right?
Yeah, and you're right. And by the way, are you such a conspiratorialist that you think that they would make this one step towards government-run health care? That would never happen with, Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi. They would never do that. No, of course, that's exactly where this was leading. That now the next big step of the fight is going to be, well, the Democrats are going to say, let's just get rid of all the insurance companies and just have the government run the whole thing. It'll be wonderful. We'll be like Canada and Britain and Russia and all these other nations that have government-run health care system. Republicans need to make the case, not just that Obamacare is a loser, and it is. It's losing money. It is people are losing their health insurance. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not saving $2,500 on my insurance. Remember that one, guy, Bruce?
Yeah.
If you're going to save $2,500 per family. Now we're going to have a big debate. Republicans have to say, look, and actually Carly Fiorina says this best. Remember in the debate she keeps saying, hey, I've got an idea with health care. Why don't we try the free enterprise system? And it works in every other industry. Why don't we try that? If we put a little bit more free enterprise in the healthcare system, ladies and gentlemen, you get better health care. You'd be able to choose your doctor, your hospital, your service provider, and you would pay less for it. We could cover everybody in America. I want to see Republicans really going out there and talking about how we can make health care work for everybody. Because if we have a government-run health care system, it's going to be like going to the DMV.
Well, Stephen, we always hear this so-called good economic news. I mean, the Fed raised the rate because everything's coming up roses right now. We're all Ethel Merman, and so they're raising it 0.25. But you still got the sluggish growth, the 2%, whatever, and you've got so many people who are out of the workforce. Like me. So I just but really, I mean, it's not the Reagan recovery. As I know we're tired and we're blue in the face from saying it, but the Republicans. And I know we're preoccupied with what's going on in the Middle East and all that, but it's going to come back to Obamacare, and it's going to come back to revitalizing the economy. And Hillary's going to come there, and she's going to demagogue the whole issue, and she's going to talk about, making sure nobody falls through the safety net, and that, we've got all these programs for the middle class. And there's got to be a way that the Republicans can connect up with the middle class in a way that Mitt Romney, when the exit polls showed, didn't care about me. And we've got to show that, and how are we going to do that?
Well, first of all, you're right that this has been a feeble recovery. And, look, you can't fool the American people. I mean, you look at the polls, and Obama has huge levels of dissatisfaction among voters with, A, the way he's dealt with terrorism, B, the way he's handled the economy, and C, the way he's dealt with jobs. There's just no doubt about it. I mean, and by the way, anybody out there listening to this show who thinks the unemployment rate in the United States is 5%, you're smoking something, because it's not. It's the real unemployment rate in this country is closer to 10%. We've got a massive number of people dropped out of the workforce. But I want to link this, if I could, to what happened last week, this abomination of this budget that Republicans passed. And I've been on the show week after week, Amy, as you know, blaming Pelosi and Obama for stuff. But this terrible, horrible, budget-busting, debt-busting budget that we passed, you can't blame it on Obama. You can't blame it on Pelosi. Last time I looked, it was the Republicans that controlled Congress. I think that as I look at my Constitution, the Congress has control of the purse strings. And they, you mentioned Obamacare. They funded Obamacare. They funded all the EPA programs. They funded sanctuary cities.
They funded Planned Parenthood.
The Planned Parenthood, the climate change stuff. I mean, all this stuff Republicans are railing against, quite rightly. All of that got funded. This was a cave-in. This was
Stephen, don't you like the fact that they lifted the embargo, the oil embargo?
That was the one good thing.
Well, that would create thousands of jobs.
Good thing. But the rest of it is terrible.
Right, Stephen,
it's not awful. And you know who the big winner is when they pass a budget like this?
Barack Obama.
Donald Trump.
Oh, Donald Trump. Right, because people get angry.
Obama's winner. Oh, yeah, because everybody's, now voters say, you know what, you can't trust any of these Washington insiders. They voted for, I've been in Washington for years and years and years. I can't remember. I'm embarrassed to call myself a Republican.
All right, two things, Stephen.
How could they fund the Planned Parenthood? My gosh, everyone who's seen those videos knows what an evil organization this is, and they funded them.
Stephen, stop screaming. You got to stop screaming.
Mind,
the person in the next room at the Intercontinental Hotel is going to complain about you to
I wouldn't
the
mind funding Planned Parenthood if they got out of the abortion business, but that's not going to happen.
Stephen, two things. First of all, did you say abomination? Did you just coin? Is that a neologism right there? Did you say abomination instead of abomination, which would be fine? And secondly, isn't this the
yes, I did.
Okay, all right. And the second thing is that the whole strategy, the Ryan McConnell, Boehner, whatever strategy, is that well, we gotta, we can't. Kill the budget
no conflict,
and everything
yeah.
like that.
Don't shut down the government. Don't cause any conflict. And that's called capitulation. In other words, they said to them, "Oh, please, Mr. President, don't shut down the government. We'll do anything you ask." And Obama said, "Okay, I want A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yes, you can have all that stuff, and we'll suspend the debt ceiling. We'll get rid of the budget caps. We'll give you funding for your stupid climate change deal that's going to shut down our industry. Anything you want, Mr. President. Just don't. It's called Republicans going into the fetal position." And that's what happened here. And let me ask you guys a question. Seriously. Can you tell me the difference between when the Senate was run by Harry Reid versus now when it's run by Mitch McConnell? Can you tell any difference?
Nope.
Well, Mitch McConnell didn't hurt himself on an exercise machine. I think
that's about it, right?
That's an abomination, Stephen.
Hey. All right, well, Stephen Moore, thank you so much for joining us, and happy holidays to you. And enjoy your time in the Windy City, and please be careful tomorrow on Michigan Avenue.
You guys too, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And my bet for 2016, so we can end this on a happy note, is that Hillary Clinton will not be elected president in November of 2016.
Oh. Amen, brother. All right, thank you so much, Stephen Moore. Chief
All right,
Economist.
Get ready for the White House to be turned into Trump Towers.
All right. Stephen Moore, Chief Economist at the Heritage Foundation, joining us on our very own Turnkey.pro answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Foggy start to the day and no snow for Christmas, but some very severe, possibly damaging winds, right, Bruce?
Yes, it's a two-man weather team. Today, windy, rain, and thunderstorm in the PM. Storms can bring damaging winds, high as 61. Tonight, winds gusting past 45 miles an hour. Showers early this evening, cloudy, low of 37. And on Friday, Christmas Day, clouds and breaks of sun, high of 43, low Friday night of 38. Now it's time for a check of traffic with Dominic Fortini.
At Oak Brook, a crash 22nd and Butterfield. Also have one in Stickney near Oak Park and 41st. Watch for a crash in Oak Brook Terrace, Route 83 and Roosevelt. Edens, Kennedy, and Eisenhower, all a very light traffic volume this morning. No major delays in that section of roadways. Inbound Stevenson, tapping the brakes as you approach Cicero. Inbound Ryan, 20 minutes, 95th into downtown. But as I mentioned, everything very light traffic volume this morning. Eastbound Jane Addams struggling, though. Barrington Road to Roselle because of an overturned vehicle. Everything else, incident-free. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
I've been taking it, and I'm actually feeling better. I know that I'm not coughing anymore, and I was coughing all the time.
I notice my body feels better.
I have diabetes. I had my blood work done, and I had really good numbers.
I want to thank you for your product and all that. It's been great.
I got my kids taking them now. Got my parents taking them. My brothers, my best friend. Got everybody on them.
I love the product, and I love Dr. Howard. I trust him. I feel safe. I think his product is superb. I'm going to continue with it.
Get started early on your New Year's resolution with our best price of the year. Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Hello again, everybody. For a long time, Turnkey IT has been providing solutions to AM 560 business owners. It's a name that you've come to know and trust. Turnkey IT takes care of your technology, and has a plan that fits your company's IT budget and network needs. Interested in moving some or all of your business to the cloud? Turnkey IT can migrate your network to Microsoft's Office 365. Need someone to call when you can't print, have lost a file, or need tech support? Turnkey IT's got you covered. Offsite backup? Check. On-site support? Check. Help desk support? Check, double check. Turnkey IT staff is professional, friendly, punctual, and will solve all your technical problems immediately or even after normal business hours, all for a fixed monthly rate. Turnkey IT knows your network is truly the heartbeat of your company. Focus on your business and leave the technical stuff to the pros. Visit turnkey.pro today for a plan that fits your needs. That's turnkey.pro.
This is Dan Proft with an Upstream idea, brought to you in part by the Illinois Policy Institute. 97, that's the percentage of Chicago Teachers Union members who voted yes in a recent mock vote. Yes, they voted. They are prepared to go out on strike for the second time in 4 years. The annual average CPS teacher salary is just under $80,000. And that's before you include their health insurance benefits and guaranteed seven-figure pension. The bankrupt, junk-rated Chicago public schools spend more than $15,000 annually per pupil, and yet 75% of 4th and 8th graders are neither proficient in reading nor math. This in a system of nearly 400,000 students. So who's the bad guy here? Is it the teacher's union or the mayor's office? Yes, there are no white hats in the story of central planners from City Hall fighting with the central planners from the teacher's union over who gets to be the lead central planner at CPS. If the teachers strike, they deserve to be unlocked from their jobs. CPS students deserve access to schools that will give them the opportunity to earn an education that sets them on a course for success in life. The only way that happens is if the adults inside CPS, the parents, and the adults outside CPS, state political leaders, change the flow of money away from central planners and to families so that they may make the same choices for their children that Tiny Dancer did for his kids matriculating at the University of Chicago Lab School. For more ideas like this, visit upstream-ideas.com. I'm Dan Proft.
AM 560, The Answer.
So, first Hillary, during Saturday night's Democratic debate, said this about one Donald Trump.
He is becoming ISIS's best recruiter. They are going to people showing videos of Donald Trump insulting Islam and Muslims.
And foreign intelligence experts all confirm that that is not true. There's no, ISIS is not using Donald Trump or his image or his name to try and recruit. So, of course, the Trumpster wanted an apology.
She should apologize. She lies about emails. She lies about Whitewater. She lies about everything. She will be a disaster.
So then Donald Trump, while he was in Grand Rapids for his last big appearance before taking some break to spend time with his hot wife and children, was in Grand Rapids and used a male anatomy to describe how Hillary was beaten during the 2008 primary. You take a listen. Are you offended by this?
Hillary, that's not a president. She's not taking us to everything that's been involved in Hillary has been lost. As you take a look, even a race to Obama, she was going to beat Obama. I don't know who'd be worse. I don't know. How does it get worse? But she was going to beat, she was favored to win, and she got schlonged. She lost. She lost.
Schlong.
Swing.
Schlong.
We're like Wayne and Garth right here today.
So should I be offended by this word? Why is this term not bothering me? Because Hillary is very upset about it.
Hillary, yeah, right. She should be upset that her husband cheated on her and that she stayed with him.
Hey.
She really spoke for femininity or for the feminist movement that way. Look, it's a term. Yes, it's a dirty word in Yiddish, and he shouldn't use it. And we've coarsened our political discourse. But I got to tell you something. The distance in eloquence between, say, George Washington's first inaugural and Barack Obama is light years greater than the distance between Barack Obama and Donald Trump. We've become a coarse culture. Can I just read you like 2 sentences from George Washington's first inaugural, just to give you an idea?
Maybe one?
All right, one.
Okay.
Starting, among the vicissitudes incident, this is how he started the speech. Among the vicissitudes incident to life, no event could have filled me with greater anxieties than that of which the notification was transmitted by your order and received on the 14th day of the present month. Now, that's the way people used to talk.
Yeah, people used to speak like that before things saying that, like. I can't stand when my kids say it because it's rubbing off on me. Yes, it's the coarsening of our culture, the coarsening of our rhetoric.
So that's,
But Donald Trump, all right, and he, just to move the story along, he said that he used the term to describe her primary defeat in 2008. He said it was not offensive. I meant that she was beaten badly. Right. But, of course, Hillary is crying wolf and saying that she's just being bullied.
You are looking at somebody who's had a lot of terrible things said about me. It's important to stand up to bullies wherever they are, and why we shouldn't let anybody bully his way into the presidency.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't mind Trump being this way, because he's kind of demystified the presidency. We have this cult of the personality. We look up to our fearless leader. To me, he's just going to be an employee. We're going to be able to say, you're fired, to Donald Trump as if he's an apprentice.
Okay, good luck with that.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper, hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The most recent U.S. Supreme Court decision on the Affordable Care Act made one thing certain. We will all have to deal with this ever-changing law until at least 2017. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the last 5 years.
Thanks, Dan. If you have a pre-existing condition, a canceled plan, or your premium increased, now's the time to get covered. 2016 open enrollment begins on November 1st and ends on January 31st. During this 90-day window, you cannot be denied coverage. Depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. The new healthcare law is very complicated and you do need guidance. It costs you nothing to use a broker, so why not tap into my expertise?
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
Got a great idea. If you need to buy a last-minute Christmas present, why not take them to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico in April? That's where we're heading, April 2nd through the 9th. We'll be staying at the gorgeous Secrets Puerto Los Cabos Golf and Spa Resort. Now, it's an all-inclusive, adults-only, all-suites resort that opened in December of 2013. All rooms have an ocean view. Now, it has 8 luscious restaurants, 4 bars. They serve unlimited premium drinks. There's 24-hour-a-day room service. The resort has 2 sparkling pools and access to 3 miles of pristine beaches. And adjacent to the resort are 2 9-hole golf courses designed by Jack Nicklaus and Greg Norman. You don't even need a car. You can just walk out of the hotel and onto the green. So join us in Cabo. Get more information and book your trip by visiting 560theanswer.com, keyword escape. The price that Apple Vacations has secured for this trip is incredible and exclusive only to us. This trip sells out every year, so don't miss out. Visit 560theanswer.com, keyword escape.
And now, a moment of objectivism with your Ron Brook and the Ayn Rand Institute.
How does economic inequality emerge in a free society? From a bunch of win-win transactions. When J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter books, she created something of value. A bunch of great stories that millions of people willingly and happily paid $20 a piece for. Now, what happened to inequality as a result? It grew. Rowling became a billionaire, while her fans saw their income stay the same and their wealth go down by a tiny amount, $20. Inequality grew, but everyone was better off as a result. That's the way inequality arises under freedom, and that's why it should. For more, see my book with Don Watkins, Equal is Unfair, America's Misguided Fight Against Income Inequality. Visit ARIradio.com. From the Ayn Rand Institute, I'm Ron Brook.
This has been a moment of objectivism from the Ayn Rand Institute. To learn more, listen to the Yaron Brooks Show, Saturdays at 4 on AM 560, and visit ARIradio.com.
Why are Ayn Rand's ideas so compelling? Her worldview, her philosophy, expressed dramatically in her novels Atlas Shrugged and The Fountainhead, embodies the ideals stated by the Founding Fathers in the Declaration of Independence and sets forth the requirements necessary to achieve a flourishing life. She called her philosophy objectivism and said it was a philosophy for living on Earth. Today, decades after her death, objectivism continues to stir debate and inspire passion for the spirit of individualism and the enduring American dream.
What will you find when Ancestry opens up the best collections of 2015 for free? This weekend, Ancestry is allowing unlimited searching of our most popular collections free, but only for a limited time. Visit tryancestry.com December 26th through the 29th and discover stories, facts, view photographs, and more for free. Uncover the incredible stories that led to you. Free access is only for a limited time and only when you visit tryancestry.com. That's tryancestry.com.
Outside, we have a heavy fog and clouds. WIND Chicago News Time, 8 o'clock.
News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. Americans are heading home for the holidays. A record 100 million of us expected to travel between today and the Sunday after New Year's.
The line here at the American Airlines terminal at O'Hare International Airport is extremely long. They're going all the way down about 2 or 3 doorstops here at O'Hare's entrance.
Lisa Chavarari with Fox 32 TV. More than 90% of travelers will drive. AAA says we're paying the lowest gas prices since 2009. People going to the Northeast will have record temperatures. It'll be in the 70s tomorrow in New York. We did more buying in November, starting our holiday shopping. Consumer spending rose 3%. The Mall of America could be very busy today. Protesters may join Christmas shoppers. Fox's Evan Brown has this live.
Dave, the giant mall in Minneapolis may see a large number of demonstrators from the group known as Black Lives Matter. The mall tried getting a court to halt the protest on what is one of the busiest days for malls. The judge only banned the 3 individuals organizing the event. Miski Noor is one of them.
The people have a right to show up. We have a right to say what our message is. We have a right to speak out. And us not showing up and us not speaking would be the mall winning.
Well, the mall insists it can do it at once as they are a private property. Thousands of protesters showing up at the mall last year forced many stores to close, Dave.
Yeah, but instead of the apology Donald Trump wanted from Hillary Clinton for saying he's become ISIS's best recruiter, the Democratic frontrunner tells the Des Moines Register
his bigotry, his bluster, his bullying have become his campaign.
Trump leads the Republican presidential race by 21 points in a new CNN poll. Kentucky's Republican governors ordering new marriage licenses that won't have county clerks' names on them.
It's an attempt to protect the religious beliefs of local officials, and it comes after Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis spent 5 days in jail for refusing to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. She said she couldn't issue them with her name on them.
That's Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Clouds and heavy fog, and we have 46 degrees in Chicago at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Just in time for the holiday travel rush, the Department of Homeland Security says TSA screeners can now force travelers to go through body scanners. And this morning at O'Hare and Midway, that is prompting some long lines for travelers headed out for the Christmas and New Year's holiday. A protest in March is planned for Christmas Eve on the Mag Mile. This action, another effort to try and force Mayor Rahm Emanuel to resign. Gregory Livingston is part of the Coalition for a New Chicago.
We do want to stop people, if it be at all possible, from going in these stores. Why? Because it's better to bleed green than to bleed red.
Meantime, protesters held a die-in outside Mayor Emanuel's City Hall office last night. Chicago Park District has argued successfully that it is following a long-standing court order by not making any political hires. Federal judge ruled yesterday the department is now in compliance with that Shackman ban on patronage hiring. Park District will no longer need an outside monitor to make sure politics are not involved in the hiring process. A Chicago man accused of sexually assaulting and robbing a woman at a CTA Red Line station is now behind bars. Milton Anderson is charged with armed robbery and criminal sexual assault. The crime happened early Saturday morning after the victim left her train at the Jarvis stop. Chicago sports, college hoops, Northern Illinois, a winner over Roosevelt. DePaul, a top 25 upset of George Washington, 82-61. In the NHL, Stars over the Blackhawks, 4-0. College football right here on AM 560, your home for Northern Illinois Husky football, as the Huskies will travel to San Diego to take on Boise State this afternoon at 3:30. The news, a service of Cabela's. Find your last-minute gifts at Cabela's Christmas sale in Hoffman Estates and Hammond, Indiana. Shop for amazing deals on all of your favorite brands or get the gift that always fits. Cabela's gift cards. Don't miss the Cabela's Christmas sale. It's 8:04, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here's Joy Piazza.
From the Fox Business Network, it's the last full day of trading before the Christmas holiday. Futures indicating a higher open. The markets close early tomorrow. Stocks rallied yesterday as crude oil put the brakes, at least temporarily, on its slide. The Dow Industrials gained 165 points, or 1%. Nike is a stock to watch today with shares climbing in after-hours trading. The world's largest sportswear maker said its revenue ran up a gain of more than 4%. Overall, Nike reported a profit of 90 cents a share, up from 74 cents a share a year earlier. Sanrio, the makers of Hello Kitty, say they have fixed the security leak on its popular fan website that compromised the personal information of more than 3 million users. A recall due to a labeling mix-up at Zatarain's. 8-ounce boxes of red beans and rice original may instead be creamy Parmesan rice mix. Zatarain's is owned by McCormick & Company. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Joy Piazza.
8:05 in Chicago, and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
This Christmas season, AM 560 The Answer wants to help you celebrate by building your very own Christmas music playlist. It's 12 days of Christmas music. Just download the AM 560 mobile app on your smartphone, and once you're registered, you'll be able to download Christmas favorites from artists like Bing Crosby, Paul McCartney, Leanne Rimes, Nat King Cole, and others. Absolutely free. Celebrate Christmas with free music on the AM 560 mobile app.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. See website for details.
Need some extra cash today? Do you have bad credit or maxed out credit cards? If so, turn your radio up. 67cash.com is one of the nation's largest personal loan networks with over 50 different lenders. Now you can get a personal loan for up to $5,000 with no traditional credit check, discreetly from your computer or smartphone, and with no paperwork to send in. That's right, no paperwork whatsoever. Your cash will hit your bank account as soon as tomorrow, and with millions of dollars to lend, our lenders will not perform a traditional credit check. Visit 67cash.com and you can have up to $5,000 in no time. Just have a checking account and a regular source of income, and you can get the loan you need now, regardless of your credit. Go to 67cash.com from your smartphone or computer to get the cash you need. Visit 67cash.com. Type www.67cash.com directly into the address bar. That's 67cash.com. 67cash.com.
8:07 in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. Let's get the latest. In for Jim, here's Dominic.
Plenty of fog across the Chicagoland area. Eastbound 80 still has 2 right lanes closed as you approach Harlem. That's because of an earlier car fire, dragging delays back through LaGrange. Westbound, also some gapers to that eastbound car fire. Ties up traffic Ridgeland into Harlem. Edens, Kennedy, Eisenhower remain pretty light and quiet. Inbound Stevenson, a minor delay as you approach Cicero, 36 minutes from 355 into Lakeshore Drive, while the inbound Ryan sits at 20 minutes, 95th into downtown. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Windy today with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Otherwise, periods of rain and a thunderstorm with a high 60. Showers early in the evening, otherwise cloudy and windy tonight with gusts up to 35 miles per hour. A low tonight of 36. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Fog and 46 at O'Hare. Next news at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next with Bruce Wolf sitting in with us on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by M.J. Miller & Company Jewelers of Barrington. Make your holidays sparkle and shine with items from the new M.J. Miller Holiday Catalog.
Good morning. Welcome to your Wednesday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
Vorderbruggen and 5 other U.S. airmen were meeting Afghan leaders near Bagram Air Base when a suicide bomber on motorcycle drove into the group and detonated his bomb, killing all 6 Americans.
If there is a limit to how far Donald Trump will go with his crude insults and schoolyard-like taunting, we're still waiting to see it.
She was going to beat, she was favored to win, and she got schlonged. She lost. She lost.
You're offended. The average American is not.
We're going to take a live look at Michigan Avenue this afternoon, where a very large march and protest planned for Christmas Eve. Several organizations are putting the event together, urging people to shop off the Mag Mile. They're saying that they're trying to get Mayor Rahm Emanuel's attention, and ultimately they want to get him to resign.
We do want to stop people, if it be at all possible, from going in these stores. Why? Because it's better to bleed green than to bleed red.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good Wednesday morning. It is the eve of Christmas Eve. I'm Amy Jacobson, and sitting in for one Dan Proft is Bruce Wolf.
Good morning to you.
Holy T-shirt and all. I
well,
told you earlier.
It's a holy day, isn't it?
Yeah. It looks you've dressed as if you've given up on life, Bruce.
I didn't realize there were cameras in here. And
Well,
I would have worn my HD makeup because you never know when a TV show is going to break out.
You never know.
Yeah.
But what's going to break out is some possible, I want to say rioting, but what's going to break out is large numbers of protesters on Michigan Avenue. And here are their demands because, these protesters that, don't pay a lot of taxes because they don't have jobs.
Oh, my goodness.
They're demanding that protesters
they want justice.
They're urging people to shop elsewhere because they're protesting along Michigan Avenue, in case I didn't point that out, on Christmas Eve during the day. And they want us people, taxpayers, hardworking Chicagoans, to shop elsewhere because they're going to try to get Mayor Emanuel's attention and ultimately force him to resign. They're protesting in English.
Anita Alvarez got to go.
Yeah, you know that one.
It's got
and
a
then
backbeat. You can't lose it.
Yeah, also in Spanish.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
And a lot of people are joining forces for this protest. We have the Black Youth Project.
And in Yiddish. We don't like his schlong.
SEIU, excuse me. MoveOn.org, Black Lives Matter, and my favorite group. Are you ready? The Color of Change group. Thank you. That's a good one. 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. Who's going to avoid Michigan Avenue tomorrow?
Me,
and is this
but
really,
not because of that.
Is this really going to work? Is this really going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back and Mayor Emanuel's going to come back from Cuba and resign? I mean, give me a break. Don't take it out on hardworking small business owners and some large business owners, retailers who are just trying to make money on Christmas Eve.
I feel sorry for Neiman Markup.
No, I do feel bad for them.
Needless markup.
It's ridiculous. And people are, as I said, people from different cultural backgrounds are joining together as one. Here is Javier Ruiz. He is from Pilsen.
You can talk this way because your children are Puerto Rican.
Well, Javier Ruiz believes that he's been the victim of racial profiling and he just doesn't trust police.
They don't trust the police. Whenever there's problems, the last thing they do is call the police.
And even Reverend Gregory Livingston, he's been on this program several times. Good friend of the show. He wants Mayor Emanuel to resign. I get that. But he's even telling shoppers to stay away from Michigan Avenue.
We do want to stop people, if it be at all possible, from going in these stores. Why? Because it's better to bleed green than to bleed red.
I mean, who
by the way,
these
protesters
people think they are?
Last night, I read a tweet from Channel 7. They have a reporter named Rob Elgas. I believe he's Hispanic. Anyway, he says...
Rob Elgas. Thank you.
I thought it was Elgas.
No,
Isn't he Hispanic?
Yes.
Anyway, so the thing is that he actually tweeted that the protesters were obeying the red lights.
Oh, well, that's
so
nice.
Yeah. So what's the problem?
But the police won't even arrest them from jaywalking because they're afraid. Because they're doing their jobs differently now. Because they're afraid of civil lawsuits. They're afraid of.
Don't you want Rahm to go?
Something.
Don't you want to engage in Alinsky-like tactics in order to get him out?
All I know is a lot of people are getting really mouthy and have a lot of demands.
No, so getting Mayor Rahm Emanuel to resign is definitely not the main goal of the movement right now. So in Chicago, police receive 40% of our city's budget to remain operational. That is completely unheard of and unacceptable. One of our major demands is that police be defunded and that money used to fund police be used to fund Black futures and be used to fund our communities and things that we need.
Because that's where I want my tax dollars to go. Yeah, I don't need police anymore. I don't need police protection. I've only been robbed, I think 8 times in the past 19 years while I've lived in the city.
Why don't you move out of the city?
Well, that's
because you want the free Ann Sather donuts from Alderman Tom Tunney, who we'll be talking to later from the good old number 44 ward. Thank you very much for the sugar rush.
Why. It's because I don't want to give up. Yeah. I mean, my grandpa came to Chicago from Sweden for a reason, because he believed in America, and he believed in Illinois, and he believed in the city of Chicago. And he helped build the city of Chicago, and I don't want to back out just because of some protesters who decide to wreak havoc on Michigan Avenue on Christmas Eve. Shame on them. Arrest them, police. Please. Don't confuse activity with accomplishment, because they're getting nothing accomplished here.
You're not seeing the forest for the trees here. We got to get rid of Rahm Emanuel.
But don't they know that Rahm's thousands of miles away in
sensitive.
Cuba? With that, let's go to Candace, who joins us from DuPage County. Good morning, Candace. How are you?
Merry Christmas, Bruce and Amy. Okay, well, here's my question I want to know that nobody's answered yet.
Yes.
Well, number one, the teachers get 60%, so she should be whining about that. If the cops get 40%, the teachers always get 3 times more. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, why don't they have to have permits like everybody else? Why? Because they're black. Why? Because they're black.
No, wait, hold a second. Just a second, Candace, who is an expatriate who moved out of the city of Chicago and into DuPage County,
right,
and I don't think you have standing to even talk about this.
What are you talking about? You live up in Wisconsin practically.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You have more standing than I do. Okay, here's the thing, Candace.
Get to it, Bruce. Hurry.
All right, but here's the thing. I mean, you know, they're protesting. They're justified in trying to get rid of Rahm Emanuel because Rahm Emanuel disenfranchised
but they're ruining
them.
jobs. There's people that live in the ghetto that work at Saks Fifth Avenue and all these stores, and those are high-paying jobs for them, and they get commission. So why are they going to screw that up? What about the narcissist jagoffs these people
Because
are?
they're selfish, Candace. Thanks for the phone call. And I would never describe it as ghetto. They just live in different neighborhoods, okay?
The
Sean from Elwyn Park. Sean, you have to make this
slums.
Here's what is amazing to me. These are the so-called academics. This is this old Saul Alinsky disrupt the innocent people in order to get paid. And that's why Saul Alinsky died a multimillionaire in Carmel, California, that nobody wants to talk about. This is why Jesse Jackson parades around in an entourage of Escalades and smokes cigars and eats at Smith and Walensky. These kids.
Wait, are you talking about Saul Alinsky or Smith and Walensky? I'm getting a little confused, Sean, but go ahead.
Either way. I'm sure Saul Alinsky had a piece of Smith and Walensky. But here's the thing. These kids are the kind of kids that ended up raising money for the Viet Cong during the Vietnam War. These are nothing more than self-loathing dissidents, malcontents and miscreants who do not know why they're even protesting.
Well, a lot of them are outside agitators. And they're college students who are on break and they have nothing else to do.
Sean, there are inside agitators as well, and I'm one of them. Here's the thing. Sean, we got to get rid of Rahm Emanuel.
You think that
I understand that, but this is not the way to do this.
You think that Ed Burke and his $60,000 Rolex are going to be on Michigan Avenue? You think that Dick Mel and his band of merry morons he calls a family are going to be affected by any of this? They're down in Cabo looking at a tan. Dick Mel's, he's putting polish on the Rolex right now. And Rahm Emanuel's sitting on Fidel's lap waiting for him to throw a cookie in his mouth like a chihuahua.
Sean,
That's what's going on.
All right, Sean, we got to go for a second. But I got to tell you, you sold one nice, neat little piece of property in Florida. I saw the picture. Fantastic.
You should see the one on the other coast I sold in 3,900 Gulf Ocean Mile.
Okay.
You have to diversify. Get out of Illinois.
How much could you get for needless markup on Michigan
Sean,
Avenue right now?
Thank you, Sean, for joining us. Real quick, let's go to Randy in Orland Park.
Yeah, I don't know how I topped that call from Sean. But look, I'd like to bring attention that there was a recall amendment, if everyone remembers, back in 2010 or 2012, that election. It was voted against. I voted against for it because it didn't go far enough. All it wanted to do is to apply recall to the governor's office when it should be from the governor's office on down to the dog catcher. Now, when this Reverend Livingston, he's allowed one-party rule. His constituents have allowed what has happened here. I would not give him that satisfaction right now unless we take a serious issue or stance on recall of all these politicians. And in instances like this, then they have that tool. It's not for me to say that Mayor Rahm Emanuel should be recalled. That's up to the citizens of Chicago. However, the electorate there has just allowed this to happen.
All right, thanks, Randy. And one of our texters said, so the protesters are not allowing a good crisis to go to waste.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, alcohol may be on the menu at one suburban funeral home. We'll have the owner, but first, what's the weather going to be like, Mr. Bruce Wolf?
Well, let me tell you.
Because it's going to be nasty around here.
Today it's going to be windy, rain, and thunderstorms in the PM. Storms could bring damaging winds, the high at 61. Tonight, winds gusting past 45 miles an hour. Showers early this evening, cloudy, a low of 37. On Christmas Day, clouds and breaks of sun, a high of 43. A low Friday night of 38. The weather's been brought to you by Salerno. butter cookies. Now it's time for checking traffic. Here's Dominic Fortini.
In Fox Lake, crews working a crash at Wilmot and Route 173 on the Jane Addams eastbound. It's tied up between Barrington Road and Roselle. Had an earlier overturned dump truck in the construction zone. That earlier car fire eastbound 80 near Harlem has been pulled off. And now we've just got delays back through LaGrange. Eden, Kennedy, Eisenhower still remain very light. Watch for some fog slowing you down on the inbound Stevenson. 36 minutes from 355 into Lakeshore. Inbound Ryan slows as you approach the Stevenson. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, take a quick look in the mirror. Do you see those bags under your eyes? Are they annoying? Well, imagine them gone. Bruce, how does my face look?
You are the pièce de résistance.
How are my bags under my eyes?
You are, it's je ne sais quoi.
Je sais quoi. Well, you could look like me. You could look like Bruce if you use Genustel plant stem cell therapy from Chamonix. Genustel plant stem cell therapy. They take the plant stem cells from a Swiss apple. That's why you get the glowing skin, and it will reduce bags and puffiness under your eyes. And with its instant effects, which is a separate product, you will see results in the first 12 hours, guaranteed, or your money back. But don't wait. This crazy sale ends this week, so order now, and you'll also get the legendary Esotique face cream as a free gift. Call 800-525-8323, 800-525-8323. Call now, and express holiday shipping is also free. That's 800-525-8323.
What if you could get the very best food from all around the country with the guaranteed lowest prices? Oh, and what if it's all shipped directly to your door absolutely free? Well, rejoice, food lovers. DirectEats.com is here. Direct Eats gives us every consumer the freedom to find the best food at the best prices based on their diet, taste, or needs. That's because at DirectEats.com, the whole country is your supermarket. There's no membership fees, so give it a try. Just go to DirectEats.com and place your order today. DirectEats.com is the largest online natural and organic superstore. From locally made barbecue sauces to an array of nut-free, paleo, gluten-free, or anything and everything in between, the options go on and on. At Direct Eats, they have over 20,000 food products at the guaranteed lowest prices, and they ship them absolutely free right to your door. There's no membership fee, so why not get started on your next food adventure? Stop by DirectEats.com today. That's DirectEats.com.
I'm amazed. I want to say thank you to Balance of Nature. You guys are awesome. God bless you. The reason I have so much enthusiasm is because I speak as a person who has investigated the things that are out there. What I see is that there's many, many people telling the same story, and it's ruining it for the people who really are true. You know, up until this point, I had a lot of doubt whether, you know, I have an instinct that there should be something you can spend some money on and get something good, and I hadn't found it, and I believe I have found it this time. So, again, awesome, 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 and thank you.
The top 3 New Year's resolutions are health-related. Improve your odds by getting started early with our best price of the year. Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
The mood is right. The spirit's up.
Sing it, Bruce.
We're here tonight.
Ready?
Tiddly bop, biddly bop.
Ready? Here we go.
Merry Christmas.
Simply happy, wonderful Christmas.
And so this is Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I was doing
You're
the John Lennon one,
so
not the Paul McCartney.
uncoachable sometimes. Amy Jacobson here, Bruce Wolf in for Dan Proft, and we will be singing at the end of the show today. You're not going to want to miss it, and I promise it will sound better than what you just heard. Okay? And right now, what we're going to be hearing is a man. He's the CEFO of Colsack Funeral Home. He also owns Turnkey IT, good friend of the show, and he has a great idea that's really the nation is picking up on this idea. He also owns a funeral home, Colsack Funeral Home, and he has a unique idea of including alcohol during a funeral. So with that, we welcome to the program David Colsack. Good morning, David. How are you?
Good morning and Merry Christmas to you.
Yes, Merry Christmas. So how did you get the idea for a need to serve alcohol at your funeral home?
Well, I want to go back. My family business started in 1930 with my grandfather at 4255 West Division in the city, and since has moved out to Wheeling. We used to have 2 funeral homes until 1985, until my dad came out to Wheeling and it was a small one-horse town at the time in 1974 when he started it. and now my brother runs the establishment. So it's been a long-standing tradition in my family to have, you know, a life above a funeral home. I lived above the funeral home. I was always the kid that got driven to school in the hearse.
And you went to Wheeling High School.
I did. I went to Wheeling High School as well. So I'm a Wheeling guy. Kind of grown and raised here. And
did we go to prom together?
No, we didn't.
No, that's right. I went with Paul Mazie to Wheeling's prom.
Wouldn't you have liked to have gone to prom in a hearse?
Actually, my little brother did go to prom.
Okay.
Okay, so you grew up in the funeral business and
So-
have been to many funerals where people essentially they tailgate in the parking lot.
Essentially, yes, they do. And so it kind of struck me this last year. My father passed away, and we have been evaluating the funeral home and what do we do with a business that has kind of been the same for over and over and over the centuries. And it's been going on. You know, we've had funerals since really the Egyptians started mummifying people, and in general, we've had the same traditions over and over. And so my brother and I sat down, and we just thought, in general, people have been asking us for years, can we bring alcohol? You know, we bring food and we bring our mastacholi, and we always told them, listen, it's against regulations to bring in any kind of food. So we thought we might as well approach the village of Wheeling and ask them, you know, can we somehow provide this service and allow people to bring this stuff in? And so we thought of this idea that not only should we bring in the food, but bring in the alcohol and try to package it together in a catering-type format where we're not the caterers, where we partner with the Stefani Group, in this case, the Tuscany right down the street, to come in and offer packages where people can come in. And we think it's going to make people linger. Instead of the parking lot, they're going to actually stay inside the building and visit with people. And we feel like our funeral home is an extension of a home. It's actually, if you've been there, and sadly, if you have to go there on occasion, it's a really welcoming place. It's a home. It feels like a home. It doesn't feel sterile. It doesn't feel like a funeral home. And we've tried to ensure that atmosphere happens. And when we have celebrations at Christmas or whenever, when we get together at family times, we have food, and we often have family, and we have friends, and we have some form of alcohol. And so we thought, why don't we ask permission? And so it created this firestorm almost of media attention, which has been really, really fun and great and surprising all at the same time.
Yeah, I saw you on WGN TV. I heard you on several stations actually yesterday. But how is this going to work? So is there going to be a bar set up inside one of the visiting rooms, or how does it work?
Similarly to, I would think, a wedding, we're going to have when you see those carts that are like in the corner of a room that have a bartender in a bow tie and a vest. Similarly, we're going to have someone like that in an adjacent room. We don't envision it being in a viewing area. We don't envision it being directly in the area of where anybody would be laid out there. But we're finding that a lot of funerals are really not having anyone present, and so meaning there's no body present. They're memorial services and things like that. So these life celebration services that we talk about, we think that they're gaining in popularity, and frankly, it's 55% of our business ends with the disposition of cremation.
Yeah, and when people are being cremated, I know a lot of people are having, instead of going to the funeral home because there's no alcohol served, they go to restaurants or loud, noisy restaurants or to hotels, and it's really just not the same.
It's not, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep the dignity and of having a funeral ceremony for someone and giving them the option to come to the funeral home where it feels homey, where it's grandma was there, dad was there, whoever. That's how traditionally funeral homes are chosen that way by people that we go there because that's what we do, that's what our family does, and so we're really not. This has really been more of a response to people wanting this service, and instead of them going to dad's favorite restaurant for a memorial service, why don't we have this over here? And I do believe that the business will evolve over the next 10, 15 years to include life celebrations that are not only death life celebrations, but people coming to the funeral home for happy occasions.
I know that, aren't they having weddings at certain funeral homes?
They are, and it's very interesting because it's more of a, again, it's evolving more of a celebration center than it is a funeral home.
So then you separate. It's separate though, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Bruce.
No. I'm just trying. It's like the feng shui of the whole funeral home. You wanted to make it comfortable, but not where the body is or anything like that. Yeah,
right.
I get that. Yeah.
Yes, you have to have the viewing areas and the chapel and whatnot. And there's a decorum to it that, you have to keep up that level of decorum. And you have to have that level of respect for the deceased and for family and for the memory of that loved one. But at the same time, we're seeing people, play at the end of a closing of the casket. They're playing Only the Good Die Young instead of, and Stairway to Heaven or things like that. We've heard, rather than playing, a traditional closing song where it's mourning. People want to be celebrated. People want to be remembered in a way that they're happy, and I don't discourage that. We try to make things comfortable, and for people to, we always say every life lives a legacy, and in my family, we try to, instead of have it just be a funeral director and do nothing, we try to make it as personable as possible so that when people attend the funeral service, they actually get to know something maybe they didn't understand or know about the person that they're visiting the family of. So again, funerals are for the living, they're not for the dead, they're for the people that are left behind. And it's important for us to remember those people the way they wanted to. And more often people are saying, I want a party for my death, for my funeral ceremony, rather than say I want a funeral dirge.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much, David Kolsek. We really appreciate your time, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you both. Have a great day.
This is the best. David Kolsek,
Merry Christmas.
CFO of Kolsek Funeral Home, also the owner of Turnkey IT. And guess what? He joined us on his very own Turnkey.pro answer line.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The most recent U.S. Supreme Court decision on the Affordable Care Act made one thing certain. We will all have to deal with this ever-changing law until at least 2017. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the last 5 years.
Thanks, Dan. If you have a pre-existing condition, a canceled plan, or your premium increased, now's the time to get covered. 2016 open enrollment begins on November 1st and ends on January 31st. During this 90-day window, you cannot be denied coverage. Depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. The new healthcare law is very complicated and you do need guidance. It costs you nothing to use a broker, so why not tap into my expertise?
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
The weather is only going to get worse here in Chicago, but where it's going to be warm and sunny for the next 5 months is Los Cabos, Mexico. That's where we're heading April 2nd through April 9th. It's our Chicago morning show answer. Come along.
So you'll be there for Cinco de April. Yeah,
yes,
okay.
We'll be staying at the beautiful Secrets Puerto Los Cabos Golf and Spa Resort. It's an all-inclusive, all-suites resort that opened in December of 2013. I've been there. It is gorgeous. I mean, it is a top resort. They have 8 restaurants with experienced chefs, 4 bars serving unlimited premium drinks, 24-hour-a-day room
I'd
service.
like to see you transform into the girl from Ipanema, from the
resort
the
has
blonde Nordic
2 sparkling pools. I have a Swedish flag bathing suit. The resort has 2 sparkling pools and access to 3 miles of pristine beaches. And adjacent to the resort, 2 9-hole golf courses designed by Jack Nicklaus and Greg Norman. You know what? This is a great Christmas gift for someone. Maybe you haven't purchased a Christmas gift for your wife or girlfriend. Take her on a trip to Los Cabos, Mexico. For more information and to book your trip, visit 560theanswer.com, keyword escape. The price that our good friends at Apple Vacation has secured for us is exclusive to us, so don't miss out. Visit 560theanswer.com, escape, keyword, and start packing.
AM 560, The Answer.
Now, throughout December, we're celebrating Christmas here at AM 560 by helping you build your own Christmas playlist. This month, offering 12 days of Christmas music when you use the AM 560 mobile app on your smartphone. If you don't have the app, go to the App Store. Bruce, do you have the app?
Of course I have the app.
Or Google Play Store and download it. And once you have it, just open the app. And today you can download Little Drummer by Andy Williams, the song you're hearing right now. You can add it to your own personal Christmas playlist absolutely free. And check the app again tomorrow, Christmas Eve, when the free music download on AM 560's mobile app will be Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And check again on Christmas Day when you'll be able to download Merry Christmas, Darling by the Carpenters. And Merry Christmas from AM 560. The Answer. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Alderman Tom Tawney will be here. It's going to be very
On the good
interesting.
old number 44 ward. Yeah.
Yes. He's pushing Swedish cinnamon rolls, and he'll tell us why. But first, let's go back into the newsroom and say hello again to Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, good morning. 51 degrees. Very heavy fog this morning. Israeli police are calling a Jerusalem stabbing a terror attack. 3 Israelis wounded severely by 2 Palestinians outside one of the main entrances to Jerusalem's Old City. Donald Trump still leading the field of Republican presidential hopefuls. That according to a new CNN ORC poll showing him at 39% support this morning, more than doubling Senator Ted Cruz. Poll numbers aside, Jeb Bush this morning says Trump is a politician and not a leader.
He has said continually to say things that's going to make it harder for the party's nominee, whoever that's going to be, to win.
Behind Cruz and Trump are Marco Rubio and Ben Carson at 10%. Bush is at 3%. The Washington Post taking some serious heat over a political cartoon today, picturing Ted Cruz as an organ grinder with a couple of monkeys. Captioned, Ted Cruz uses his kids as political props. The cartoonist says Cruz's 5- and 7-year-old daughters are fair game. Judge is granting the Mall of America's request for a restraining order against the leaders of Black Lives Matter. Minneapolis, a Hennepin County judge, Karen Janisch, only approved the ban on a few of the organizers of the protests scheduled today for the world's largest mall. A protest and march is planned for Christmas Eve on Chicago's Magnificent Mile.
We do want to stop people, if it be at all possible, from going in these stores. Why? Because it's better to bleed green than to bleed red.
Gregory Livingston is with a coalition for a new Chicago. Chicago city attorneys are planning legal action against the mother of Ronald Johnson. Court filing accuses Dorothy Holmes of threatening the police officer who killed her son. And a Cook County judge says a new Illinois law that cuts the size of civil case juries from 12 to 6 is unconstitutional. Chicago sports last night. Northern Illinois a win over Roosevelt in college hoops, while DePaul with a nice top 25 upset win over George Washington. On the ice, Dallas over the Blackhawks 4-0. Northern Illinois back on the football field and showing off their tans in San Diego this afternoon, taking on Boise State at 3:30. The news service of Let Us Entertain You. Give the gift that fits all appetites, a Let Us Entertain You gift card. Receive a free $25 holiday bonus for every $100 in Lettuce gift cards you buy. Simply visit a Lettuce restaurant or LEYE.com. Check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher isn't so sure the president's strategy in ISIS will work.
Isn't it reasonable that if somebody's on the no-fly list, they shouldn't be allowed to buy a gun? That's the kind of stuff that's going to defeat ISIS, isn't it? Now, that's what I call prioritizing. Holy cow. Lord help us.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
The Chicago Wolves have 3 home games over the holiday break. Be there Saturday at 7 as they face Iowa on calendar night, courtesy of Domino's. For information, visit ChicagoWolves.com.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to drill down and talk about the big ideas behind the big issues. That's where Upstream Ideas comes in. Upstream Ideas, online at upstream-ideas.com, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted orthodoxies. In other words, Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now to upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to spur you on to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit more free, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
8:39 in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. Here's Dominic Fortini.
Plenty of fog affecting travel, and the weather going to change a little bit later this afternoon. That may hamper your evening travels. Eastbound Army Trail shut down because of a new crash between Swift and 355. Eastbound 80 still slow from LaGrange to Harlem after an earlier car fire. Inbound side of the Stevenson, 36 minutes from 355 in the Lakeshore. A minor delay begins at Damon, while in the inbound Ryan, things get tight near the Stevenson into the Burns Circle. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Windy, rainy, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm with some damaging winds. High 51, 51 at O'Hare. Next news at 9. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy. And our friend Bruce Wolf sitting in this morning on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by The Lou Bridges Show. Tune in on Saturday mornings at 8 to learn how you might fight foreclosure and keep your home.
City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style.
Care to sing, Bruce? Come on.
I can't top Burl. That's Burl Ives.
Yeah, he went to Eastern Illinois. Did you know that?
I did not know
And
that
do you wanna
Santa
know-
Claus went to Eastern Illinois.
No, Snowman. And do you know what else about Burl Ives? He sings the song Once in Love with Amy. Always in love with Amy.
No,
At least
no,
that's
no,
what my
no.
grandpa told
Ray
me.
Bolger
Ray
sang that
Bolger
song.
sang that. I'm sorry, Ray Bolger.
That I know that is ridiculous.
No, but you're a young 80-year-old. You Botox well. 'Tis the season for giving, and I have to tell you, this morning at 3:30 a.m., I heard a van outside my door, outside my house, a little humming, and out walks a man, a lovely man, with 2 boxes of Ann Sather famous cinnamon donuts inside of them. And so I brought them to the station, and Bruce Wolf, I don't know what you did, but you didn't eat one. You ate 2 of them.
And the problem
you've
with
been in a food coma
Yes,
for the
since-
past 4 hours.
I'm just coming out of it, like Quinn on Homeland.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I'm because you can't eat them. It's like Jay's potato chips, but you can't stop eating it. You can't do something else. And they're so big that you wind up spending like 20 minutes eating 2 of these. And yeah, I got the sugar rush. And
You did, but they're world
It was
famous
delicious.
cinnamon rolls, and the person who's making them all, Alderman Tom Tutty. Not only is he your 44th ward
Little
alderman,
number
but,
44 ward.
but he also owns and runs Ann Sather Restaurants. Good morning, Tom. How are you?
Good morning, Amy. How are you today?
Good. So are these?
We got an early start today with you.
Yes, you did. And I just want you to know that I did tip the driver.
Well, he certainly appreciated it, and we appreciate it. We know you've been a customer for a long time,
Oh,
so
yes.
that sugar rush has been indelible. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a fascinating story to tell about how you were a waiter at Ann Sather, and then how did you develop a relationship with her, and then eventually take over the business?
Well, I wasn't necessarily a waiter per se, but I went to hotel restaurant school, and a friend of mine's, my best friend's father was the supplier to Ann Sather's, and he had suggested to Ann that she was looking to retire, and I was just out of hotel restaurant school, that it might be a match, and that's what happened about 35 years ago.
Wow. And how many Ann Sathers are there now?
There's 3, all north side, one up by Loyola at Broadway in Granville, and then the 2 in Lakeview.
And one's on Belmont, right? Is that it?
The flagship one's on Belmont.
Yeah, because
course.
on the day of the marathon, I don't get into the city. I'm one of those suburbanites who's scared to go into the city. So
Suburbanites, you live near Wisconsin.
Exactly. No, but my sister was running in her first marathon. I mean, she's almost an adult now, my sister. And so I walked past Ann Sather's, and I was saying, I wish it were open. It wasn't open at that point. You're not 24/7 on the one on Belmont, are you?
No, we're breakfast and lunch.
Yeah, okay. So it wasn't open. I say, I wanted an answer. So now I finally got it a couple of months later. So thank you very much.
On this Christmas, or in 2 days, you're going to be feeding the 19th District of Police. Are you bringing in all cinnamon rolls? Or are you bringing in a buffet? What do you have going for our copper friends?
We've been feeding the police on holidays for years, but we start with a breakfast with eggs and sausage, and then like for Thanksgiving, we eat turkey dinner. This time, I think we're doing prime rib and duck and stuff like that. So we spoil them, and as well they should be.
Now, I remember meeting you when Bernie Hansen, when he last ran for alderman, and then you came in. Gosh, that must have been in 1996. Was
no,
it?
no.
Or 98?
We met probably that early, but I became alderman in January of 2003.
Well, now, what has been the biggest challenge as alderman for you?
It's just managing a vibrant community with lots of different interests, sometimes competing, and of course, making sure our schools continue to improve, and we're all concerned about keeping our neighborhood safe too.
And can
So
you get
those are the ongoing challenges.
And what are you going to do about getting rid of the scoreboard in Wrigley Field? I don't like it.
Oh, stop it. I actually like the scoreboard. We're not going to talk about Wrigley.
It's actually nice.
We're not
It's
talking
actually-
about
the
Wrigley.
scoreboard's
The
nice.
renovations are
Well, Wrigley is a big part of our community,
It
as
is.
you know, and we're excited. We think it's going to happen in our lifetime, and that being the World Series, I hope soon.
I hope so too. But I love. I can't wait for them to bring back the ice skating rink because we haven't ice skated yet since they started the construction project.
Right, and that's once the plaza gets open, ice skating will be a regular feature again.
Amy, are you worried about your garbage getting picked up or anything? Now's the time to handle the
Actually,
whole thing.
I was in Tom Tani's ward for
Oh, you're
9
not there
years. Now I'm in Amaya Pawar's. But my kids go to Blaine, so my kids go to school in your ward.
All right, there we go.
See how it all comes together? It all works out. Pardon?
Yeah, we're one city. It's a great thing. So.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you. Now, you're encouraging people to buy cinnamon rolls for Christmas gifts, correct?
Of course, and we already have a great customer base doing it, and it is the gift for people that I used to live in Lakeview, I used to go to Aunt Father's, and they come back for the holidays and bring treats back from the city or the suburbs or near Wisconsin, right?
Yes,
exactly.
So what
they come far and wide.
Yeah. What are your hours of operation before we let you go here?
On Christmas Day, we're open from 7 a.m. to 7 o'clock in the evening.
Alderman Tunney, we're sandbagging you right now. And you're probably going to hang up on us because this is the important question I got to ask you. And this is it. Can you refrigerate the frosting that comes in those little plastic cups with the cinnamon rolls so that you can even add more of the frosting onto the cinnamon rolls? Can you do that?
You can do that, but it's not necessary to refrigerate because there's plenty of sugar in there.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so you're open Christmas Day from 7 a.m. until 6 p.m.?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
And Christmas Eve, you'll be open tomorrow, correct?
Yes. Tomorrow we're only open until 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Alderman
Thanks.
Tom Tunney, and thank you so
Merry
much for
Christmas.
the cinnamon rolls.
Thank you so much. Have a great holiday. Bye-bye.
You too. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro Stop Eating the Cinnamon Rolls Bruce Answer Line.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Foggy start to the day, and some wind is going to be the big news later.
You got nervous when I was setting up Alderman Tunney for the coup de grace question.
I didn't want any
what did you think I
emails,
was
any phone
asking him?
calls. I just want to get out of here
You
for
think I
a
was going
break.
to ask him about Rahm Emanuel or something like that? Come on. I don't do that to people. It's Christmas. Today, windy, rain.
just talk like this.
Amy Chit Chat. Wow.
I did make out with Chuck Hopwick once. Kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Oh, I want to hear you.
Okay, go on.
Here, let me give you a trampoline right now. Yeah, because you're going to have to be knocked out in order to make out with me, Amy. All right. Today, windy, rain, and the thunderstorm in the PM. Storms could bring damaging winds. High of 61 tonight. Winds gusting past 45 miles an hour. That's a lot of wind. It's a 4-club wind. Showers early this evening, cloudy, a low of 37. On Friday, clouds and breaks of sun, a high of 43. Low Friday night at 38. Now it's time for a check of traffic with Dominic Fortini.
Eastbound Army Trail in Addison remains closed from Swift into 355. That's because of an earlier crash. We've got a new accident in Bartlett as well, westbound on Lake Street near Bartlett Road. Inbound Stevenson remains a little tied up as you approach Damon. 36 minutes from 355 into Lakeshore Drive. And a little bit tight on the inbound side of the Rhine as you approach the Stevenson into the Burn Circle. 20 minutes, 95th into downtown. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560. The Answer.
See, I thought Chet just made out with himself. I'm so excited to tell everybody who's considered buying a pillow but hasn't that now with the buy one, get one free offer, you also get a 60-day money-back guarantee. Basically, you can try MyPillow risk-free. You have nothing to lose and could be enjoying your best sleep ever. What are you waiting for? It's so important. Get a great night's sleep. I got one. I got two. My wife has one. I've got one. I think we need a couple more because she stole my pillow last night while we were sleeping.
You have my pillow too.
My
Naughty.
pillow helps with. Yeah, I just had an image of you and Chet Kopic with MyPillows. MyPillow helps with snoring, headaches, neck pain, insomnia, allergies, and more. Plus, it's washable, keeps its shape, and gives you support where you need it most. That's why it's the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation for the MyPillow, a buy one, get one free offer and 60-day money-back guarantee. Visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. Please use the promo code Amy. Do it now. This offer's for a limited time. 800-489-0201 or online at MyPillow.com. Promo code Amy, 800-489-0201.
The most recent U.S. Supreme Court decision on the Affordable Care Act made one thing certain. We will all have to deal with this ever-changing law until at least 2017. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the last 5 years.
Thanks, Dan. If you have a pre-existing condition, a canceled plan, or your premium increased, now's the time to get covered. 2016 open enrollment begins on November 1st and ends on January 31st. During this 90-day window, you cannot be denied coverage. Depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. The new healthcare law is very complicated and you do need guidance. It costs you nothing to use a broker, so why not tap into my expertise?
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
My name is Dr. Howard. I've recommended Balance of Nature for over 15 years because of the excellent results I see in my patients. Balance of Nature doesn't make any claims of treating or curing any particular disease, but I think the results speak for themselves.
When I started on this, I stopped my blood pressure and my cholesterol medicine. My blood pressure after a week since then has been normal, and my bad cholesterol dropped 27 points in 3 weeks, and my overall cholesterol dropped like 25 points. So I'm good. So I'm not taking anything.
The top 3 New Year's resolutions are health-related. Improve your odds by getting started early with our best price of the year. Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
City sidewalks.
Oh, yeah.
Busy sidewalks. Dressed in
holiday style.
Is this Lou Rawls?
Yes, it is.
Well, I'm guessing, name that Silver Bell singer. I'm 2 for 2 right now.
You quickly want to tell me something about Ted Cruz in a cartoon? What's going on?
What happened with Ted Cruz, there was the Washington Post. No sooner am I quoted in the Washington Post, one of my tweets over the weekend, so I'm thinking, I've got all this cachet right now.
Yeah,
then
you're a powerful man.
Yeah, but then the Washington Post soils itself. This cartoonist for the Washington Post, Mike Scott reported on it a few minutes ago. Ted Cruz was on Saturday Night Live doing a parody commercial with he was reading like Christmas stories to his 2 daughters, his actual daughters. It was cute, it was funny and all that. But this cartoonist from the Washington Post took exception for it. She was claiming that Cruz was using his daughters as a prop. Okay, fine. And she drew this cartoon of a Santa Claus-like Cruz with leashes on his daughters who were portrayed as monkeys. Now, can you imagine and the Washington Post the editor wound up apologizing for it, I guess.
Well, he should.
But the thing is that can you imagine if conservatives or Republicans of any stripe portrayed any Democrat, let alone Barack Obama,
one cartoon
and the
artist
children?
did that. Yep, for Michelle Obama, and he got fired on the spot.
Well, so it's the liberal double standard. That's the way it's always been. With,
what we Googled most in 2015, just because I've been holding on to this story for 2 weeks: Lamar Odom, Jurassic World, American Sniper, Caitlyn Jenner, and Ronda Rousey. Did I pronounce her name correctly?
Yes.
But the interesting thing about Caitlyn Jenner also is one of Barbara Walters' most fascinating people of the year. And guess what? She wouldn't give Barbara Walters an interview. She wouldn't let her come into her house and sit down and talk to her.
Both she and Bruce Jenner are Republicans.
Ah, yes. Barbara Walters is?
No. She being Caitlyn and Bruce Jenner. I'm sorry for the pronoun antecedent problems.
Yes, it's a shim, okay?
Yeah.
All right, I've tweeted about this. We've rehearsed this.
All right.
You need to stand up. And
I am standing, said Walter Jacobson.
Hey. All right, we're going to sing for
Not
you.
your father.
We're going to sing our way out of this show.
Okay, this is
Silver Bell.
Because I love this because Bob Hope sang it in The Lemon Drop Kid, one of the great Christmas movies of all
All
time.
right, here's you ready. I'm going to give you the no.
Okay.
City
sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile. And on every street corner you'll hear
silver bells,
silver bells,
silver bells,
silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city.
Ring-a-ling,
ring-a-ling-a-tinga-winga-zinga.
Hear them ring,
hear them ring.
Soon it will be Christmas Day.
Hot dog.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
For missing teeth, dental implants are wonderful. The advantages are fantastic. They really are just like your original ones. What you probably don't know is that not all implants are the same quality, and there are a lot of unqualified people doing implants.
This is Brian DeWolf. I have 2 implants from Fox River Periodontics. I had one. I was happy with it. So I had another one done, and I love them. The idea of dentures didn't appeal to me at all. I didn't want that appliance in my mouth. These implants are wonderful. They're just like your real teeth, and they're probably even better because there's no nerve attached to them, so there's no pain, and they last forever. Dr. Neruzzi is great, and his staff is wonderful, and I trust him completely. If you're looking for dental implants, or considering dental implants for a missing tooth or for a whole mouthful, talk to Dr. Neruzzi. You'll be happy you did, and Fox River Periodontics.
Just remember, implantsforme.com. Implantsforme.com.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants. Go to implantsforme.com.
Executive Green Carpet Cleaning came to my home a few months ago, and my carpets still look newly cleaned. You know what? They look brand new. There's no stains or kitty marks at all. And Executive Green's cleaning process is safe for your entire family. They use their own purified water, not water from my sink. They use a non-toxic solution that leaves no chalky, sticky residue like the Yellow Company does. Their no-risk guarantee promises that if you're not 100% satisfied, you will not pay for your service. So make your home beautiful again for the holidays by scheduling now at 708-599-5151, 708-599-5151, locally owned, a great company, or you can go online at executivegreencarpetcleaning.com.
What if you could get the very best food from all around the country with the guaranteed lowest prices? Oh, and what if it's all shipped directly to your door absolutely free? Well, rejoice, food lovers. DirectEats.com is here. Direct Eats gives us every consumer the freedom to find the best food at the best prices based on their diet, taste, or needs. That's because at DirectEats.com, the whole country is your supermarket. There's no membership fees, so give it a try. Just go to DirectEats.com and place your order today. DirectEats.com is the largest online natural and organic superstore. From locally made barbecue sauces to an array of nut-free, paleo, gluten-free, or anything and everything in between, the options go on and on. At Direct Eats, they have over 20,000 food products at the guaranteed lowest prices, and they ship them absolutely free right to your door. There's no membership fee, so why not get started on your next food adventure?